the launch event almost continuing here as we're getting a ton of new products, a ton of new software updates, a ton of new mentions of new products as well, outside of one important thing that I think everybody might be waiting for, and that is obviously the VR headset that was much discussed. Maybe they're saving the best for last, who knows? But as time goes by here, we're more than an hour in now. As time goes by here and no mention of this, the selling has come into Apple shares, bringing the entire market to the downside overall. We are still positive, though, for the NASDAQ, for the Dow, for the S&P, 0.15, 0.37 there for the Dow, obviously in negative territory. Overall, that's how the board's looking. 0.13 right now for the S&P 500. It's tech that's the most influential. EPAM with earnings this morning, missing expectations. The forecast's not good either. A few other software names, however, having pretty good days. FTNT, Intuit, Oracle now even up 1.5%, so helping to offset some weakness here. Look at Intel, down better part of 4%. Some of the chip makers, including Micron, down 1.7 there. First Solar, 2.25, adding to the negativity. Along with, 2% for Western Digital, HPQ, 3.25% on Apple Day. Still holding on to a gain here for Apple, but as we saw, back to the downside. We go. Some industrial positivity coming in this afternoon. Same story for consumer discretionary healthcare. Still positive over here for material stocks, utility, and real estate names as well. I'm still listening to this event. Very, very interesting as far as what they are talking about. Just getting through the AirPods section of this. So it looks like mostly just software updates coming through for your favorite headphones. AirPods, but we'll see if they announce any other hardware. Again, no mention yet of this VR headset, probably leaving the best to last. Why would they launch it right out of the gate? Then no one has a reason to watch the entire thing, right? So here I am. Guys, what do we think here? Back to the downside we go for Apple, back to the downside we go for the overall market.
Absolutely. See?
Wow, Neil.
I'm not muted. I'm not muted.
You were muted.
Okay, whatever. My thing half toggles is ridiculous because it goes halfway and then it's like a little bit, but not. And I've done it a couple times, but like it's on the right side of it. Either way, they sold the news.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Greg about this, our floor manager. If you want to short these days off a big round number, you've got to be able to just sit in front of it and not worry about, like if you're going to short 85 is what I'm getting at here. Don't necessarily wait for it to set up. Just sit in front of 85. If you're gonna risk 1 cent anyways, then just take the trade. So I didn't take the 185 short because I was waiting for it to set up. It touched one time and then flushed. Now it's pulled all the way back to 182 on the news. I know Max was talking about this, but I was just waiting for it to get to the support from the morning. And the second it was there, it did one wick underneath, reestablished 82.50, risk 25 cents. I just jumped in at that particular price.
Sharif's mic is on.
Sharif. But if we get another push right now through 182.75, actually going to back that offer in. I want to get some out around 183 and then press into VWAP here. So Apple, it was a big sell-off from that 185 level. Basically like the 180, except it didn't actually hang out there for very long, and then you're right back to where we started. It's the first time I've had it this morning. The dip buy I was looking for in the morning was like 181. It never really came to that price. So we're going to see Apple. Obviously, the news is pretty much as expected. The big thing was supposed to be the VR headset. We haven't gotten that yet. And actually, one other thing about that, the M2 chip, when they announced that, at that exact moment, there was a big corresponding move in Intel to the downside. Intel broke support. I believe AMD also broke support at that particular moment. It was right around like 112, 115. It was the biggest volume spike all day long on Intel. It made a fresh low, bouncing off 30 here. So that's also worth watching. But that was when they announced, they made their chip announcement at the Apple event. Since then, Intel's been coming back a bit.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Apple's one of the top stocks for me today. It's the #1 name on the sticky note. Of course, you always want to trade stock that are active during, a specific event, or, this one's a little different because it's not like earnings where you can say, okay, this is the number. We don't really know. All you're really doing is just trading what you see. So I've left it alone. I didn't do anything. We were out here of Apple. We bought it earlier on in the day. It's a top stock for me today. It's my number 2. It's the second best stock on the show today. AMD is first, Apple's number 2 there, and there's been other plays. We have great trades on. Tesla's been a good one as well, and right now, we tried 183, so I shouldn't say we left it alone. It came down in, we tried 183, we got long at 183.15 and got out at 183 break, so that was really quick. That's the only thing we did in this, and I think that we talked about this earlier. Neil just mentioned sell the news, stuff like that, buy the rumor, sell the news. So that's all we were doing. Now we leave it alone, and we'll wait for 181. We looked at 181 before, but I don't know if it's even any point in any of this right now. We're just continue to just crush things. Right now we're short Meta here into this. Let's just play it off VWAP. Here comes Meta right down again. We're gonna wait to see if we can get 2. I mean, look at this. Like, this is again another 70-cent winner. Like, it's almost, I don't know. Trading today seems to just things to be flowing. We're $3 in the money on Tesla. We're 80 cents now. Sorry, 70 cents in the money on Meta. $1.20 in the money on AMD. I mean, look at this AMD. We're tweeting a few things out if you want to go check out my charts and when I'm taking positions and whatnot. Look at this short all day on AMD. Like, this is why it's the number 1 stock. Look at Meta right now. We just put this on right when we came to the show. So I'm sitting there bidding 35. So I'm going to cancel that, let it go through me, and see if I can get a better fill somewhere else right now. But there it is, a nice move to the downside here on Meta, and there it is. We take a 38 fill. So boom, like we just put this Meta trade on. There's 80 cents in the money for you as well. So it's a money kind of day right now. We're having our best day of the month. It's only June 5th, of course. So we'll wait to see where we go from here. But hey, we're in 4 winning positions with no red stocks today.
All right, they're talking Watch OS for all you Apple Watch lovers out there. A ton of updates, in fact, on this Watch OS update, I guess. But a lot of this I've noticed is software-based. There's not, I mean, outside of a few new laptops, hasn't been a lot of hardware announced. I just saw, guys, just before we get into PanW here, BTC made another move to the upside there. It did bounce off 2,500. Twice and held. This is a daily chart, but if you go into a tighter time frame, there was another move back to the upside, but breaks down hard on that Binance news this morning. SEC suing Binance, Coinbase getting crushed on that as well. 12% now for Coinbase, crazy. Meanwhile, 5.4% here for Palo Alto on news that's going to be added to the S&P.
Yeah, new replaces the old, Brendo. The old legacy TV Dish Network no longer in the S&P as they get phased out, and we have more direct-to-consumer type streaming services evolve in their place, and then obviously the huge cybersecurity name as we go on, and we have more, conflicts abroad, cybersecurity in focus, and it gets added to the S&P.
What do we think here, guys? I mean, you had to be a little bit patient with PanW today, but when it did go, finally gave you a nice move.
It just started filling in the gap, and there was no real obvious place that it made the turn. By that time, if you're only trading one stock and looking for the turn, I guess you would have had 225. But by the time 225 started holding, which is the level I liked, it was 1045, and you were into the stocks that had set up for you previously instead of waiting all morning for PanW to catch a bit of a bid. So I don't think that was the way to go. You mentioned the SEC story. And Coinbase, it is what it is. Like by the time things came out, it had already rolled over pretty decently. I was in the short on the second stage of it, and you can see a quadrunk. We talked all about this in the midday show. And then when it got to a bid at the bottom around 56, that's a level I started going for the long. I had one trade. I might put another one on because it got to 56 here. So this is when it bounced at 56.80 or so. And then when it put in the lower high, when it put in a higher low, that's when I got into it, like 57.5. It could not get past 58 and then rolled right back over. So it ends up a very weak bounce, but then there was another volume spike down to the actual 56 level. This has been the bigger one for Coinbase. You can see on the daily chart, this has been pretty decent support for the stock. So 56 is a solid level. Probably worthy of, if it hadn't done such a huge quadrunk back upside, I might have grabbed the long 56.5, but it's starting to test back in. If it can put a higher low in here, then I might try another long trade over in Coinbase. The other position I'm in, I was mentioning this in the chat while the midday show was going on, that Marvell, which like a lot of other chip names has been only going to the downside, like broke down, stayed down, had been just barcoding off of like 58.25 here. So short off that sort of barcode as the market comes back in. This got quadrunk in the morning the same time that Intel did. haven't really been looking at NVIDIA too much, but I'm short Marvell kind of off this 58 quarter level, and then looking to see if we can add in this consolidation or any pop into the upside. I'm not saying I have to be long Coinbase at 56, but that was the only area that I was trying to catch a bit of a bid. And congrats for Pan W. I just didn't see a trade there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm long Pan W, so we'll take the congrats on that. I'm not going to trade it. I'm going to stay in that name. I've been buying that name for, honestly, like 15, 20 years probably. So we really like Pan W. It's a definite worker, and I think it's best of breed. So yeah, I just think you stay in cybersecurity. Shout out to Zion and some of you that are in the chat as well looking for AMD. And I mean, we've just been getting out of this at 118. So as it keeps dripping down, we're just getting some pieces out. I'm hoping for a break lower, that's for sure. And then Meta gave some back, but not really. We're still a dollar in the money. It went all the way down to 271.50 and stopped. So I put a bid down there because maybe that's going to be a location spot for us down there, 271.50. So let's pay attention to see if that happens. If not, we're going to get out on this move right there. 273.40 or so is our out here for Meta. And again, like, look where we're short. We're short Meta at 273.10. We just took on there 272.40. So that's 80 cents, and our risk is 30 cents. So, you know, we're already 3-1 here on Meta, looking to make more, and here it comes right back down. We're looking for another out on Meta now. So let's see if we can have some diamond hands on this, man. And again, we've just been, although I'm not feeling the greatest, we're here, we're trading, and we're making those profits. So hopefully you guys, Palantir as well. Palantir is a big today, man. I mean, are we going to talk about, oh yeah. We'll save the Palantir talk for a minute, but here comes Meta. If you like this trade, it's now $1 and change in the money. You know, take it as you wish here on Meta. So far so good. Apple, AMD, Meta, SoFi, so good. And then we still in this Tesla trade, man. This Tesla trade's been an all-day trade for me. We shorted it up here. Oh, we're going to talk about Tesla in a minute. So, all right, let's go over to Brendan and we'll discuss our Tesla trade.
Let's talk Tesla here, guys. There was some interesting comments from Elon coming out midday around lunchtime, talking about how he will be happy to license autopilot and FSD or other Tesla technology, essentially opening the doors to maybe another entire manufacturer picking up on this software from Tesla. And you and I were talking about the SaaS side of this business, or the potential for the SaaS side of this business to come. Here's another option.
Yeah, and anybody who follows tech and margins especially knows that the SaaS margins are 80% gross margins. That's unheard of in the auto industry. So when you start diversifying that way, new revenue sources for Tesla, I love it. I like the Chinese EV numbers. The Chinese EV plays were all up to date on positive data coming out of China, and they got the tax credit last week. So demand yet to come.
Yeah, that was the other side of the story this morning, was the Chinese delivery numbers up triple-digit percentage right across the board on a year-over-year basis. But maybe there was a move out of the gate straight up this morning. It's been all sideways since, guys, for Tesla.
So we were just sort of talking. I had this conversation with my dad, because my dad loves Apple. But he's like, I don't get Tesla. It doesn't make any sense. Their value too high and blah, blah, like all that stuff. It's just like, yeah, but if they have the best self-driving and all of a sudden it gets licensed out so that half the robo-taxis eventually end up being Teslas, like, or just your car sits there and is able to earn you revenue, whatever it might be, like, that's the ecosystem, and then there's add-on technologies to it. So that's sort of been the bull case for Tesla. That doesn't really matter necessarily to the trade here today, but I love that point. I think it's a good one. I only made one trade off Tesla. It should have been, in theory, two. I did not take 9:30 breaks this morning. So that means obviously I didn't take the 218 break, 218. It got to 221. I did play it on the backside. That was about it. It pulled right back in, gave you the same breakout price. So we waited for it to give us the long off the 218 and then played 218 and a half into 220. And that was a one and done for me. It put in lower highs. I walked away from it. It's got good support here at 217. I think Sharif and Matt. Sharif for sure. I don't remember if Max was involved in this. Definitely Sharif, I know, was looking at, I think, had that long off the 217. And it's been a decent level, but the market is sort of trending back into the downside. I like Apple here off of the bottom, where I'm kind of scalping off the low. I don't know that I would want to add Tesla to it, but if you're scalping off this 17, it's been good so far, just a series of lower highs. But I find sometimes you just got to take the win, move on, recognize, especially when a stock is reversing the trend and you like the long, you don't have to go back to it over and over again.
All right, I mean, Tesla right now is, yeah, hi, whoever's there. There he is. Hey, what's up, dude? All right, so there we go. Right now, Tesla, Cat's talking to somebody, so I'm going to see, the more I sort of butter him up, maybe he'll come on. As a sponsor, I don't know who it is. There it is, 220, man. You can see it. Money. I mean, we're doing the money dance all freaking day long as if we're Cardi B, because this is just what's been coming down. I mean, look at this. There goes Tesla. We're $3.50 in the money on Tesla. We're $1.50 in the money on Meta right now and still making moves to the downside right here on this one. We're $1.20 in the money on AMD. We are 20 cents in the money. Oh, maybe we only trade big caps. There's SoFi. There's Tesla. I mean, look, I like Tesla. I like Tesla long. We actually had it written down here, 215 long. So if this comes down to 215, maybe we'll get out. But we already took $3 a couple times. There's 220 short. These are 217s out. That's $3 damn right there. So, yeah, I mean, this is what we're talking about. We're making these moves, and yeah, looks like we just bounced off of where I was sitting here on Meta. So why don't we just put a bid out now? We'll cancel that 60 bid, put something out right now. 74, we can get that, where we'll just cross in. Of course, we create that, but we get a piece out right there. So that's $1.40 right there for Meta. So that was a decent trade. Now we'll see if we have some more downside. The net is going up. What goes up on a Monday comes down on a Tuesday. Let's wait to see. But so far, the market's still holding green. And I don't know. We're going to have to wait on this. But right now, coming up, I didn't trade Palantir today, but let's go talk about it.
Yeah, yet another contract coming through this morning for PLTR. The market overall told the story right out of the gate, even in the pre-market. It seems like, oh yeah, Palantir got another contract, as you were.
It was a government contract this time around, Brendo. That's not what we've been hearing from them lately. They've been getting into the commercial space. In fact, last time around during earnings, they told us they expanded their commercial contracts by 20%. So it's another contract. It's a good look. It's been on a bullish trend. I'll keep an eye on it for a swing.
Still a nice move, though. I mean, maybe they should have added AI somewhere in there, and it would have been twice this much. But hey, 5.5% here, guys, for PLTR.
Unfortunately for Palantir, if you were tuning in this morning or if you were trading this morning at the open, you probably aware of some issues on the NYSE exchange. They were exchange-wide. I don't know if it was every single stock at the open, but it was a group of stocks where the quotes were completely nonsensical, and it was very difficult to trade at the open. As a matter of fact, from a risk standpoint, pretty much nobody on this floor, I think, was trading heavily anything that was on the NYSE, which meant when Palantir bounced from that 1420 level from Friday that was so good, just not involved in the break from that level or even the consolidation. Like it consolidates and cleanly breaks out from the lower high that it put in before. Like that 1480 level, it goes again. So I wasn't even involved until things started to get back normal. I was long a break at the 15 quarter. It got to 40s. I put a dip into VWAP there, scalped some into 20s, and then held on for a bigger move and then trailed out of it. So it was way late. Ideally, the play would have been, at the open, working off of 14 to 14.20. But quite frankly, when the risk situation is telling you, something fishy going on in this stock, or maybe you're worried about execution, the spread was inverted, not inverted. It was a locked market. So oftentimes you'd see quotes crossing each other. You don't have to trade in that situation. Like there's no point forcing the issue on something like a Palantir when that was happening. Another great day for it is, as Cherie said, like this is just constantly swinging higher. I think you're still looking long in this move, and every consolidation has been a good one. But the last support was down that 14.20. That was only available at the open. Maybe we start holding 15 and we got a whole new level to work off of, hopefully here with Palantir. Maybe we can do that this afternoon if we get enough of a dip into 15 even, but it's holding 15 quarter. I just want to give a quick little update because I tried to get a dip buy on Apple there as it's starting to go again. And this time, if we actually break 183 or get up to 183, I'll probably take a leg out there. It didn't last time, but it's starting to hold at 182.5 pretty decently. And Coinbase still chilling out there, hasn't given that entry off 56. It's still holding a higher low. I want to dip into that 56 even to try a shot long.
So we have a new position right now. It's going to be Amazon. We take that against 125, 125.15 or so will be our out right where this 200 period is. We're just going to go short Amazon against these levels. So right there, we'll see if we can get a little piece. We have VWAP here at 80. Maybe take something out there. I mean, we're just short at 90, so that'd only be 10 cents. And then if we can get something at 70, that's 20 cents. That's putting us roughly a little better than 1-to-1 on the R to R there. And then if we do continue to tank down, let's see what happens. But Amazon, huge move over the last couple weeks, right up to the upside. And let's just see if it wants to give something back. The NASDAQ is below the 50 period right here. So continuing to go down, let's go. There we go, yes sir. I mean, we're just putting these trades on. This is what I mean, like, some days we use more shares and like things don't work, and then you use less shares and they're doing great. So, but this is good because we actually have the double in here. So far so good there. We'll take 10 cents and we'll wait for more, man. I mean, let's see if Amazon can break the bottom of the day right now. Just sort of cruising to the downside, taking down VWAP and then looking at some of these levels. I mean, look, we're $3 in the money on Tesla. We're $1 in the money on AMD. We're $1 in the money on Meta. And we just took that out on Meta. Like, let's not get too greedy here. Like, out. We only have 25% left of this name as well. So it's just been a great overall day. And let's not, like, again, throw bad money after good. Let's make sure that we're in trades that we want to be in. This Amazon one makes sense to me. You can't go short 125 like we did. So we're waiting for that. And I'm not going to get out there. I just want to get out if we take some of these levels. That's actually 20 all the way up here. But this keeps sloping down. So I'm actually just going to get out if we take the 200 period, which is coming up right now. So Amazon, quick little profit take there. Let's see if it can fall back in and get us a little bit more. But for right now, here it is, man. And the Apple technology is now out. The augmented reality headset is now out. So let's see how that compares with Meta. And here we go, just another product for Apple to win with. So nice move to the upside right here for Apple.
Now it's going.
We'll find out what's going on here, but good take. We're waiting for a little bit lower to get long, but Apple's moving around now.
Yeah, it's got a support level in there.
One more thing at the end of the show here. Tim Cook about to take the wraps off of a VR headset.
Here it comes.
So you have the chart there for Apple. We'll watch some volatility. Yeah, they're gonna talk about this right now, it looks like. So just be aware, guys, if you're watching Apple, we might get a move back higher, or we might get a move lower, depending on how this plays out. The rundown brought to you by Options AI. Easy to use and visual. Options AI is your new mobile co-pilot for anything from stocks to advanced option spreads. Zero commission stock and just a $5 flat fee for options with no per contract fees. No matter the legs or size. Options AI. Turn great ideas into smarter trade. Shout out to them. Yeah, we're getting the VR headset as we speak here.
Here it is. All right. So it looks like it's got a couple of cameras there in the front. On the bottom, at least what I could see, there was some transparency there. He's going to talk about it. But with respect to oil, are we going to talk about oil? Or
Yeah, let's go.
About Apple?
Let's go.
Yeah, oil. I like oil. Like I talked about this morning, it looks like Saudi Arabia and OPEC Plus have a bit of a divergence happening at the moment. I think some of the players may want to keep production where it is, and Saudi Arabia looks poised to cut. So I want to see how this is going to, with the relationship going forward, and keeping a price obviously on the barrel, Brendo.
Apple Vision Pro having the wraps taken off of it right now, guys.
I had my offer out there. We got taken out as it came to upside. I've been thinking it's a sell the news type of event, and as it gets into VWAP here, I don't know if that's the level I want. I haven't seen any details on pricing yet. I guess we'll see that when it comes across. It's only just happened. So I like the level off the bottom, but that had more to do with the technical than anything else. We talked about that 83 as well. But it's starting to reverse off of VWAP here. Let's let things settle down. I'd like to see something on pricing. I jumped over to check to see if Meta was moving. But the thesis there would have been if Apple goes absolutely ham breaking highs and the price was really cheap, which we haven't seen anything, then I wanted to dip buy Meta if it was falling, but Meta's not really moving. So big volume spike on Apple, not a heck of a lot. That was a scalp trade in either direction. If it was going to go down, it was a relatively tight stop. We're risking about 20, 25 cents in there. And if we come back to that same 182 half, I'll go rinse and repeat. Still looking for a little bit more in terms of, I'm not seeing anything in terms of details just yet that's come across.
Yeah, no, I'll probably stay away from Apple. I mean, we're in Tesla, AMD, we're in Meta short as well. Meta short is 80 cents in the money. I just feel like, you know, for me, the price doesn't, I mean, what if it comes out $1,000, $2,000? Like, to me, that doesn't really matter because I don't really have anything to compare it against. Like I don't even really know what the new Oculus is going for. So we paid $600 for our Oculus, and that was the second generation. So I think they've released a new one.
It was rumored 3, that's all.
Yeah. So we'll see what it is. But even $3,000, like I don't know.
But if they
that could be cheap.
But if they rumored 3 and then it comes out 1, let's just say, then that to me I was thinking that could cause a sell in Meta if they did that, and then there would be an opportunity to maybe buy the dip on Meta, some rubber band action. But you know that's a very specific thing I was looking for, like for the algos to sell Meta for that reason, and then I would have thought it would be overdone.
Yeah.
And then look for.
I mean that's why that's part of why I'm in Meta. I mean Meta not only set up on the VWAP right here, but also because I'm only holding 25%. This cannot be a losing trade right now. Okay, there goes Amazon. Nice little move down on Amazon. And again, another trade we just gave to you. I just gave to you. We'll see if it comes down even more. I'm going to take something out there at 77. Put something a little bit lower in the 60s here. We can get something like 65. We'll take that. Hopefully it does come back down a little bit. AMD's not really making me nervous, but it's not really doing anything right now. But there's the market to the downside. We talked about wanting to be short today, so that's what we are. We're short everything, and then we also said that we want to stay away from Apple during this announcement. So we're short. I mean, here goes Meta. Meta right now is collapsing right now, so we'll get some bangs going on this one right now because guess what, guys? It's another one.
Another one.
I mean, we're just putting this on again. It's another one right there to the downside. You know who's going to be wearing the Apple Vision? DJ Khaled will for sure be wearing the Apple Vision at some point. So watch out for that one. White House urges China to make better decisions. That's not good for anybody to say that. So that's something that's just coming along the beat right now. White House, it won't be long before somebody gets hurt.
What's the
Don't know what
context
that's all
there?
about. But what the context is for this one is right now, we got the diamond hands, we're on the bears, and we are going to the downside. This Tesla trade is an absolute banger, man. We're still short at 220. Shout out to everybody in the chat that said, hey, this stock moons Sean today, and we are getting it right now. Our net is at an all-day high right here as we continue to make the move to the downside. Tesla now $3.40 in the money. AMD $1. Meta we just put Meta on for you at the beginning of the show, right? So there it is right there. We came on, we put on that trade for everybody right there at VWAP. The only one that's not really doing too much, and we've already taken some profits, including 25 cents on. I mean, the risk to reward is less than 25 cents, but we take it right there anyways. 77s. Put some money in our pocket on Amazon. Hopefully this can come back down in to the downside. Clean hydrogen talking about with Biden. Apparently.
Yeah, plug power.
Yeah, so a few things moving around on that, but let's just let Tesla keep on going to the downside.
Yeah, it's not I don't know, Plug's not really doing that much. Plug was down 2.5% and basically bounced like 10 cents on that headline there. So it's getting rugged a little bit. Bad day for Plug. Intel just hit the low again, but it's bouncing at 30 bucks. This is where it bounced earlier. So I'm reticent to want to short the low of the day here. We already have Marvell because that was giving you an opportunity to get in on another leg. I did have the bottom a second time here. We've only been short this name, but it's just been absolutely stair-stepping to the downside. A lot of the big move happened at the end on the Apple event, as we were mentioning there. But I look over to NVIDIA, because we're done the rundown. We can talk about anything now. NVIDIA, I'm not saying flat bottom break, because it's not quite that. But 388 here on NVIDIA, only down 1%. It's been holding the line since about 10 o'clock. Actually, not about 10 o'clock. I think it was on the release of the number, NVIDIA. You think dead on. It was on the release of the number. NVIDIA made the low at 388. It's now holding said low at that 388 level. If NVIDIA doesn't hold on to this one, I think we can head further down. It's probably a reason to add to my Marvell. It's add to Marvell if NVIDIA breaks 388. But you have distinct weakness in the chip space right now that's extending across the board, and NVIDIA has been so strong, kind of part of the AI craze, I should say. And speaking of the AI craze, AI came real close to 36. I think one more push, it gets to that 36 level. That's what we've been looking for the short. Strong day for them. And with the market rolls over, I don't think this can hold up forever in C3AI. I've been looking for a place to fade this one. It is 2:30. We're 30 minutes in. The market is trying to make a bounce here, but I think it's trending into the downside. I know we're having a lot of fun here. I'm going to get to you, Naresh. But before I get to your end phase question, everybody take a second, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you like what you see and you want to see more of it, then all we ask is you pay it forward. Hit that like in there. And let's talk a little end phase for you, Naresh. Can end phase get to 200? I hope you don't mean today, is all I got to say. Because I see almost no chance that this stock is going to 200 today. And I'll give you the reason why it looks like it's rolling. Now, if it breaks and holds above the 50 period, this is pretty much that decision point. Previous low, trying to fill, it already filled in a little bit of that gap. It's trying to fill in the rest. If you can actually consolidate and hold above the 50 period, that's at 183. That'd be a great sign. And then maybe you're running to that 200. But you just made a big move up, rejected twice above 185. That's kind of a weak move. Great, it's holding 180. Probably needs to retest 180, give you that consolidation after a break that we always talk about, and then make another leg up. So I'm assuming you're talking about a swing trade, in which case your support's at 180, and your next move would be to 200, just looking at the chart. But it's at the 50 period, and today it looks really weak going into this afternoon. 180 a good support level. But my eyes are going to be on NVIDIA at the bottom. Here comes Coinbase into that 56 level. Sometimes you want to dance with the devil in front of the pale moonlight. The short was great. The long was okay. 56 is the Alamo on Coinbase.
All right, I want to give a big shout out. Thanks for covering Enphase there. I like Enphase. I talked about
It's a good stock.
yeah, with Catherine. I recommended that when she left for university. So that was back in September. Hopefully it's up since then. Hey, what's up to Zion, man? Tesla and AMD short. Whoop, there it is. Yeah, what a day. Bang, bang. Shout out to Zion. Shout out to John. Shout out to Bears vs. Bulls. What's up to Renata? What's up to Mike Pena? What's up, Ponzi Fonzie? What's up, Fat Figo? What's up to Ice? What's up, everybody? Darwin, M. Kelsey, Trey Only, Trey Young. What's up, T Money? What's up to everybody out right there, man? Yeah, look, like you're rocking with the best of us at this point, guys. Like this is, look what exactly is happening with Tesla right now. I mean, I honestly, like, it's not that I'm speechless, but look what's happening to Amazon. Look what's happening to the market right now. This is $5 in the money right now for Tesla. $5 in the money off that 220 short. Shout out to all my people out there. Shout out to Sticky Note Nation. Right now, Apple's down to 181. Meta is now $2.15, also in the money right now. So that's an oh my God, the chef is in the building. You know, that's what we're doing. We're cooking up profits one more time for everybody. You want multiple dollar winners? AMD $1.50, Meta $2, Tesla $5, SoFi 20 cents, Amazon, we just put this bad boy on, top to bottom right there. So yeah, man, that's what we're talking about. And it is another one coming out through today. So patience, the price comes to you. Shout out to everybody out there. Yeah, we're coming in hot all over the place right now. So, you know, shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for watching the show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and keep them coming. Because if you come back tomorrow, I promise you I'll have another one for you. So thanks to Prad for developing this. Look at Tesla. See ya later, man. Tesla's now 5 bones in the money right now. What's up to Bones Jones? You like that one, Brad? This is the kind of stuff that I'm on right now. We're on one and we're not stopping. We never stop. God did. What? Perfect, man. Bring it, man. We bring the pain. This is what we're talking about. There it goes to the downside. We keep on going. The net climbs higher and higher because today it's a smoking day for the shorts. Hopefully you guys aren't long, but the shorts coming in now. It's payday, baby, on a Monday.
Yes, sir. I got one short left from this morning. Well, actually, don't have any shorts from this morning. This is a new one Marvell put this afternoon. But I just went to my level at 181 on Apple. It is trying to hold. I got it on the front end. You should never do that, and stopped out at the bottom. This is the previous close. So this is the level where I was anticipating a bit of a bounce. We did have the long earlier. We got out of the long after the announcement of the VR headset because that was always going to be the plan. Long only into that level. It then made a bit of a flush. So I'm looking at this bottom, and that's the only support I got. But everything that just happened was Apple flushing to the downside at this moment, and it is at a key support level. Intel's now well below the bottom. I have not taken a long position on Coinbase. I will have to wait for it to come on the other side and bounce a little bit before we do so. I do want low of the day out on Marvell. I'm going to respect the fact that Marvell is holding on. It's got a flat bottom break potentially, but until it gets through it, I do not want to be anticipating that it has to break it. This is the gap up support level on the stock. It has to break 57 for it to be, I think, a flush. I'm just going to hold on to this till low of the day, and then we can work back into another one. But yeah, the Apple is absolutely tanking at this point, and it's worth remembering it's not just 185. This was the all-time close price. that 181. If it doesn't hold here, Apple could be due for like a technical dip anyways. But I don't think it's given this level up just yet. It probably has to crack 180 before I would give up the notion of a bounce play.
The funny thing is AMD is not even going down. So I'm just going to bid it here at 06, get another piece out.
It's the only chip name.
I mean, I don't know. When we're taking $1 on this and like, worried about it, I mean, it is what it is right now. I don't know if we have Daniel Shea coming on today or not, but this is Tesla down to the bottom here. It's just hit 214. So I don't know. We're going to use the teal here. Trust the teal, 216.50. It's a nice move to the downside. I'm going to try to stay short, but the futures could also bounce here. This is the NASDAQ. This is a 30-minute chart. This is what we've been looking at. I mean, I'm net short everything. We just took some more out of Amazon for a 30-cent winner. Money. I mean, I know these animations. We're working on getting some new ones, and I apologize, but that's what we got right now. We just bounced off the 50 period, 14,540 about bounced off, and that sort of coincides with this level back on May 30th. So, there is some support possibly down here at 14,500. We still have a way to go before we get to 14,500, but hopefully that'll come in today as we are still net short. There's Amazon. I mean, this is what we just did. We got it out at 46 there on Amazon. I said we took 30 cents. We took 50 cents on that Amazon trade. So that was my bad on that one. I don't want to sell ourselves short here. But that was a good one there on Amazon. Let's just stay in the pocket here. I'm going to stay short. So I'll look for some more trades if I can find some. But I'm just really looking for some outs here on these trades. They're so good. And they were so deep in the money that you got to make sure that you take some of that right there. Okay, Trey only. We'll never get rid of the money one. There has to be a Hall of Fame somewhere. You are right. So we'll keep all that going. But for right now, man, it's Tesla, it's Meta, it's AMD, and it's Amazon, and we on them.
Yeah, we're able to ring the register twice. I'll give you Apple first because it just happened now. But I got the front end of the trade. That was the wrong way to go. Once it bounced again off the higher low, we were able to get it at 180.80. And then it's right back up to 181.25. So it made a wipeout bottom on volume, holds out that close price. Now if it can hold 181, I'm thinking 182. I still think it's a sell the news type of event, but I'm not shorting it all the way down at the bottom. I'm out of Marvell. I said I would give it down to make a shot at that low of the day. This was the wick previously. The body was at 57.50. So there's the wick at 57.50 and trail out on Marvell. So we shorted it at VWAP this afternoon, and then we got it down to 57.60. I'll take that one and then move on to the next. No move on coin. It looks like it doesn't quite want to get down to 56 even. But if one thing is, obviously down 12%, not many things have the opportunity to bounce if they were to make it to VWAP than Coinbase does. So I love the risk to reward. If it can hold 56 even, I think you have a lot of shots to go 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1 potentially over there on Coinbase. Apple makes the new low, and I want to get out of it. As a matter of fact, there it goes. So I'm always going to make sure that I stop underneath that fresh bottom. There's going to be a scalp play. I'll go 1-to-1 and then give it to the low of the day only. Every single time, make sure you're only taking the paper cut and don't hold it or average into it all the way back in. And until it's underneath 180, I don't want to give up on the idea of it being able to close off of those lows. So we'll go back to that one in just a little bit. I am still looking at UC3AI. I think if there's one smallish cap name, I suppose the other small cap, that I think there's going to be a chance for a run at the high of the day. It does feel like it's going to be C3AI. It's holding up pretty nicely. It's completely ignored to a certain extent the market move to the downside, holding above 34, all that good stuff. I will short 36, but this is looking a little bit more interesting for a VWAP long. Was just trading at 35. Didn't want to be long up there. But the closer it gets to support from earlier today, 33.5, that's where I'd like to structure the long from. I know Max had a shot at that one. I think he had a good long in it. I don't see how, most of the longs would have been good today if you had C3AI, so I'm assuming it worked.
Yeah, C3AI was the trade of the week last week. We had a $7 winner, but we gave it up only to wind up making $4.50 off that exact same level. 230. So like I said, man, just make sure you're joining us every single day, and we'll try to give you the best trades that we can find. So that was another great one there last week on C3AI. We'll look to make some more of those trades, of course, coming up, and hopefully we can start by right now. And I just put an out right there for Tesla. If we do take 216.25, we will get out of that. I mean, again, I like to be in it for a little longer, but I don't know, like, if it keeps on dipping down, we'll still hold this, but that's the 21 period, and we've sort of, I mean, I could hold this all the way back up to the 50 period. It's just been such a good day that we're light on everything. Like, I'm just trying to hold a lot of this, but Tesla's the biggest one, obviously, in the money, 415 now, was $6 at the bottom there in the money. So we'll have to wait to see on that one. I'd like to get them all out, but yeah, FaceTime now,
Disney.
Obviously. Yeah, Disney's going to the down right now.
The CEO
is speaking at the event. Yeah, Disney CEO speaking at the event. We could take a quick look to see what Disney's doing, but
up $1.
Yep, so that's it, man. We definitely like that. Spin that. We've been liking Disney. We just bought some Disney. I told you the other day, down here at $87, $88. So it's nice to see that. It's an averaged in position on Disney, but here we go, man. I told you, you just got to buy these companies, and we'll see what happens with them moving forward. There goes Tesla. We are now out of Tesla, so that's a good trade to end with that. So we'll probably just wind up getting out of everything, it seems like. What's up, Brendo?
New deal, guys, specifically for the Vision Pro between Disney and Apple. So Bob Iger now presenting.
You can see it's up $1 from the bottom. Disney was basically to the downside all morning long. It was a good level that it was bouncing from. If it can, I don't want to chase flash news. Like, remember what happened? There was a pop in Apple when they announced the VR set, and then the next high it made a pretty big hwadunk. I think this is only good for Disney. So I would rather be going long off of this. Everyone's been anticipating this for Apple all-time highs, all that good stuff. It's a bit of a different situation. So ideally, Disney can pull back and show you 90 or 90 and a half and give you somewhere to get back into this. But I do not want to chase necessarily flash news here. Coin has made that bottom, that higher low, I should say, off 56, 56 and a half. So I'm going to go long off of that level if we can get a pullback into 56 and a half. If you chase Disney, congratulations. I just never want to get into flash news at the highs.
Yep, I'll take that. Congratulations. 40 cents right now, but who knows where it's going to go. We're in Disney right there, banged to the upside. Making money on the short, making money on the long, but, you know, I don't know where this is going to go. I mean, where are we from this morning? We're already all the way up here. We just hit 91.40. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Congratulations in order, but we'll wait to see where it goes. I mean, this could be a downside move at some point there. I'm just going to hold this until 90. So if it comes back down and breaks 90, then we'll get out of this Disney trade. But there it is. It's a nice move to the upside right here. Just touch 91.40. I mean, we could probably get out of that if it goes back up there. I mean, we weren't thinking it was going to go that far in the money, but it did right there. 91.40 for Disney. Because remember, this is just a content. Like, Disney already has tons of content. And obviously, they were going to get into the Oculus or the Vision and all that anyways. So hard to, like Neil said, hard to analyze things when they're moving like this. So, you know, we'll stay in it pretty light and then wait to see if we can get anything. And then if it dumps out through $90 on the way back down, then that's what happens, and it dumps out through 90. So we'll wait to see what happens. Obviously, here comes the pullback on that. Yeah, I don't know. We got out of Tesla right here. We'll probably wind up getting back into Apple at some point, but I don't know. We talked about 181 holding. That didn't, I mean, it's holding right now a little bit. So maybe we'll do a long through here, 181.50. Let's just let everything settle down. That's going to be my next big trade idea, 181.50 long on Apple. Just need to watch it, make sure that it does want to take that level, and then when it does, we'll be there to go long. 181.50 on Apple. But you're going to have to give it $1 probably. So that's 180.50 is where we're bouncing off. I like that 181.50 look right there for Apple. So let's see if that comes in. That's my next idea. And then Amazon, we already got a piece out at 40. You guys saw me do that. Maybe we take another piece out right now. All we're sort of doing is just topping out the day. Even though it's only 244, I mean, we might just put on our Arun hat right now and just sit here, because if there's no trades, there's no trades. And we're going to find some more. But for right now, I'm just worried about getting out of some of these longs, some of these shorts that we're already in, and potentially flipping over to a long.
Yeah, I know one of the ones I want. I'm not going to chase Coinbase. That's a stock that you don't want to get too far away from 56 because I think your risk is to down there. C3 AI is starting to set up a little bit better. You got a nice little, I don't want to call it like a double bottom because that's not really the setup, but it is showing you a nice consolidation off of this. I know VWAP's a bit of a thing, but Friday's highs as well. This is what we're holding just barely above. I'll like it to 34. We're going to go for it there. Palantir equals Earth Roamer, Charles D just said. I don't know what that means, but Palantir is getting pretty darn close to the morning support at 15 bucks. So been patiently waiting for it to get back into 15. I think that's the next level to be able to test. Oh, did Disney come back?
It's at the same level again.
Okay,
yeah.
so anyway, so Disney, this was the previous high on Disney. The lower high resistance was at 90.60. As it bounced back in, kind of catch that. You can call it falling knife or whatever you will, but giving it into 50s. We grab 60 long in front of 90.50. We wait for the pullback. I still, like, this is good news for them, but again, play price action more than anything necessarily fundamental without knowing any numbers. I don't know if it's going to close up or whatnot, but typically speaking, you get a breakout like this, it breaks resistance. If that can turn into support, sometimes you can play the range up at the high here. So let's see if Disney can do that. We got the bounce off 90.50. If it can't hold that, I'm getting out, going for like that scalp rubber band style trade, and then see if we can get back through 91 in toward those highs of the day. But yeah, didn't want to necessarily chase, but it's giving you a decent bounce here on Disney. Coinbase came back to me a little bit, so I was able to get 57s instead of me having to pay up to 57.5. Now the risk reward can set up. If you go to the higher time frame, this is mostly where this trade is off. I just want to take some shots long in front of 56 on coin. Down 12% and getting its butt kicked. Let's get that out of the way. But the Alamo's down here. Brendo?
All right, we are happy, guys, to have a good friend back on the show for the first time in a few weeks after a much-deserved break. Miss Danielle Shea, VP of Options over at Simpler Trading, back with us on a Monday to give us her thoughts here on what has been a pretty exciting afternoon. There she is. Great to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been a few weeks here. How was your vacation, first of all?
It was amazing. I went up to the Pacific Northwest, up into the San Juan Islands, and it was absolutely beautiful. Different trading hours for sure, but I enjoyed it quite a bit.
You picked a great week to come back, by the way. So let's jump right into a few things here. Obviously, this Apple event still underway. They're talking hardware now when it comes to this Vision Pro, but tell me, how long will it be until you're walking around with one of these headsets on?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe quite a while still.
I mean, it seems really cool. The idea behind it, I think, is really cool, but I think people are having a little bit of difficulty swallowing the size, maybe, of the actual device. Maybe I'm crazy, but I mean, successful event overall, right across the board. Lots of new software announced, lots of new ideas announced for the software side of things. All-time highs this morning for the stock. A little bit of sell the news coming in here.
So, you know, when you look at Apple, I absolutely love the new all-time highs. I mean, I think looking at this and especially comparing it with Microsoft, I mean, Microsoft has got to go up and retest that previous high and make a new all-time high as well. As it relates to Apple, I mean, I think that the best thing about the all-time high is just the impact that it can have on the market. I mean, are we in a bear market anymore or not? You know, you've got Apple at a new all-time high. So I think right here at this moment in time, the most important thing to do is look at the momentum after the event, because so often, as you mentioned, you know, you get the sell the news type of situation. So I would be very cautious with any kind of Apple longs. I do own Apple stock, but at this point, I am looking for a pullback in the NASDAQ because I just feel like most of the catalysts have already occurred. We have the Fed coming up. Everything is very extended. So I would love to try to capture some downside momentum if it appears.
And I mean, for those who are obviously still sitting on the long side as well, maybe a good time to take a little bit off possibly for the next few weeks. Give me your thoughts here. Spatial computing, new term from Apple that they're, you know, wrapping this entire VR idea in. Spatial computing, kind of cool.
Hey, man, it sounds cool. You know, I'm all about the way of the future, especially if AI is going to continue sending the NASDAQ up 30% or more, you know, I'm all for it.
You bring up a very good point in that here's Apple at all-time highs. And they haven't even talked about AI at this point, as far as anyone is concerned. Apple, the type of company, obviously, that is never first to something, but typically when they do it, it's always the best right across the board as far as products are concerned. So more to come, obviously, from the AI side of things. So on that, let's talk about Google here, because obviously another one that's had just an amazing run up here on the back of all this AI excitement. Talk about Google.
So, I love Google. I think that Google looks great here, especially because Google is down still pretty substantially from that previous all-time high. In the beginning of the year, Google had some bad news. We were comparing Microsoft and Google, ChatGPT versus Bard, and Google got hit again. But, recently we've seen a lot of positive news out of Google. And I mean, Google has YouTube. And we've also seen just really positive trade in this stock. So on the shorter term, we've seen a really nice shift off of the lows. It's been consolidating. I think that consolidation is going to continue to break out and go higher. I've been trading it with my target up into about 130 just on a shorter term. But on a longer term, I'm continuing to buy the shares of this stock because, normally I do like those relative strength names like Apple, and those are especially great for, momentum trading. But when it comes to the longer term investing, I mean, Google's still down, but it has that potential to really recover in the way that, NVIDIA has, and in the way that Apple has, and the way that Microsoft has. So, for me, Google has big potential for a longer term recovery as well. So I am trading it, and I'm also investing in it too.
I was reading an article on the weekend. You were mentioning Bard there. I was reading an article on the weekend that described it as what was the exact wording? Something along the lines of it's a professional copyright breaker or something along those lines. I can't remember the exact wording, but it wasn't good. It wasn't a positive review of Bard specifically versus, as you were saying, ChatGPT. If we're talking along those lines, though, let's talk about Microsoft here, because it's been all about ChatGPT to this point and continues to be, even though, I mean, it's really our only way of directly getting exposure to ChatGPT with a $100 million investment from Microsoft. Downside right now, but holding up better than the market.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft's one of my favorite stocks, one of my top 5 portfolio picks as well. And when you look at Microsoft, I mean, I have to believe that it's going to go up and kiss that 350 price point, especially going into July. So, on a shorter term basis, you have about 340. I think that's the most reasonable shorter term target. And then on a longer term target into July, we have earnings coming up again. And so typically Microsoft is going to see a pretty positive move going into earnings season, and especially likes that summer quarter as well. And so I think that it makes sense to look at Microsoft to continue trading higher up and kiss that previous high at 350. And then ideally, if we can get some positive news out of it, it can be onwards and upwards, just like Apple. So I think this is a really important stock right now to be trading, to be focused on investing as well. I will say that, everything is so extended at this point. So you should also get ready for a pullback and be careful with longs. But when we do finally see that pullback, I think what it's going to do is I think it's just going to set us up for some longs going into that earnings season in July.
And I think, I mean, it's a great point in the sense that a pullback, not necessarily a bad thing at this point, maybe even constructive right across the board for the overall market. Let's touch on that before we wrap things up here. Going back to last Friday, we get this absolutely monstrous non-farm payrolls print, second in a row, but third overall to the upside. The market shrugs it off, goes straight higher all day long, essentially, for the second time in a row. And then obviously the big event coming next week with CPI Tuesday, and then the Fed, it's that time again on Wednesday. What are your thoughts here?
So when you're looking at the CPI and the Fed, I mean, that could definitely be a catalyst to bring the market back down. I mean, I think at this point, there aren't very many catalysts left on the docket besides CPI and the Fed. And I do think that, with the strong payroll report, and we had some higher inflationary data out recently as well, I do think the Fed has the potential to raise maybe a quarter point again. And that could be a potential for the market to pull back. But I mean, I'm honestly not looking at that as a negative thing. I mean, with the market so extended, it is really difficult as a trader to get an edge at these price points when you're trying to swing trade. And so I would honestly welcome a bit of pullback. I don't think that it's the worst thing if the Fed does end up having to raise by another quarter point. I think the market has been incredibly resilient and strong all year. We've got a low VIX. We have tech leading. The NASDAQ has just been absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, for me, I wouldn't really look at it as, any kind of major calamity if the Fed does end up raising another quarter point.
At the past couple of meetings here where they've come out in that direction and the market says ho-hum expected at this point, still a ton of data coming out as well suggesting that that might be the case. If there's one maybe area, I mean, as we mentioned, it's the tech side of things, it's the NASDAQ specifically. If there's one area outside of that, we were talking a little bit last week how if you remove all of these, the big tech names, the S&P is up about 1-2% on the year. Is there an area in the market specifically that you're kind of watching with maybe some patience, looking for some opportunities?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, especially when I look at my longer term account as well, it's important to have a little bit of balance. And I have been looking in consumer staples. So it's not the most exciting area, but, you do have Walmart and you have Costco. Both of those stocks are consolidating. They give pretty decent dividends. And I think on the longer term basis, especially with everything that's going on in the economy right now, I mean, these companies are going to continue to be strong and those stocks will continue going higher. Costco just had earnings recently, and after earnings, we saw a really nice burst higher. It's been in consolidation for a while. So I'm looking for that consolidation to break out. Now, it's not, going to be like trading the semiconductors or anything, but sometimes that's what you need. You just need a nice little bit quiet, nice little boost higher. And so if we do end up seeing a pullback, which I do think that the semiconductors are setting up where, AMD might just break that 118 price point. And if the semis start coming down, we might start seeing some rotation into names like staples. And then we can look at trading some of those slower names as the tech sector kind of pulls back.
To wrap things up here, I forgot to mention we were talking about this Apple headset thing. Disney with a huge move here, red to green, and then some, now up about almost 1%. Disney going to provide content on the Vision Pro headset. So taking all of their content essentially and turning it into a VR experience. Bob Iger himself showing up on the Apple presentation today. Overall, where are we at here with Disney?
So Disney is a challenging one for me here because, you're right down here on these lows. I do like the Bob Iger's back, but Disney has a lot of political problems as well, especially here in the US. You got a lot of boycotts going on, go woke, go broke kind of thing. And with Disney down on these lows, it's like right at, let's see what, 80, between 85 and 90. If those lows break, I mean, this thing is going to flush and it's going to flush hard. I've been waiting for this stock to come back for a long time. And I mean, whether it's this announcement or anything else, it has just remained so heavy. And so for me, I've actually been looking at this and thinking like, if it breaks 85, I've got to bail on these long-term shares because I've been wanting this thing to come back, but it's just not picking up steam at all. So I don't know. Maybe there's got to be some other catalyst that's even better because it's trying, but not there for me yet.
Yeah, a ton of positivity around that event of Bob Iger coming back in, but as you said, no follow through as of yet. Great stuff. It's wonderful to have you back. Danielle Shea is VP of Options over at Simpler Trading. Next time we'll get you in VR with headsets on, maybe. Have a great week.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you very much to Danielle.
Yeah.
For everyone in the chat, I know they're looking into that little glitch thing that's happening with the stream. It only happened a couple of times.
Yeah, I saw like 1 or 2 people mentioning it.
It went fuzzy a couple times. I saw mine happen. It's just a little quirk. But yeah, I mean, like Disney, it's got the move now. And I think as a day trader, you got to look at what's happening in front of us. And quite frankly, it did break the high of the day just now. So whatever this catalyst might mean for the long term, in the short term, they like it. They like it, and they seem to like it a lot. Obviously, it has to, if it can get through, come to my chart for a second. If it can get through this top at 91.5, this is a 15-minute chart. You can look at what 91.5 has been recently. It was a double top, both Friday's high and then the high of the day on Thursday. In this afternoon. And then if you go a little bit further back, as this starts to load up, it's not much of a next push until we. This isn't really floating much more, but you got the 92 level sitting out there. So I think another 50-cent push off this 91.50 could happen for us here today. I've already rung register, dip by in the 60s in front of 50, got some out at 80 when it was 2-to-1, got some out at 91 even. Now I'm looking for that high of the day break to go. And I have taken a shot at Intel. Intel holding the consolidation at the bottom. As the market bounces off the lows, I mean, Intel wicked from here on the Apple announcement of the M2 chip. It held just underneath 30 to 29.95. That's the price I'm long essentially now to the low of the day. I'll give it to the low and then see if we can get back above 30, playing into the 10s and then the 20s top side. So another bit of a bounce play here, but a consolidation long over on Intel. This has been a dog all day long, hence a very, very tight stop. If I was short something at the high of the day, I'd give it to the high of the day. Long off the bottom, very similar story. It's been trending down. It's going to be a tight stop here on Intel underneath 29.90.
All right, so our newest position, well, first of all, I was like in the chat, I was like, oh man, I can't believe we sold Tesla, but now we actually sold it lower than where it is right now. Huge move back up. Tesla just moved up 250. We're out of it. Everything made the move back up to the upside, which is why I was saying we're getting ready to get out of everything. The only thing that we really missed, excuse me, was that bottom there on Meta, 270.50 coming into play for Meta. So we'll have to watch out for that. And it gave us an opportunity, and I'm not in love with this trade because Amazon's actually up today 3 times what the market's up. So relative strength in Amazon, not a great short possibly here on Amazon. But we already cleaned it out, so you know we're not going to go red on this or anything like that, but we are short against 10s. So we just touched it. I want to go short against 10s and see what happens here with AMZN. So that's what we're short right now. We just averaged it in. Our average price is 95, and that level right there is 20. Honestly, I was just going to give it to 10. I just thought if we break above, let's give it a couple pennies. It's not like it was a huge trade to the upside, but right there, here it comes right back in the money. This is going to sound stupid, but give me some 90s at this point. I'm not in love with this trade. Just came all the way back in, filled us for flat, and we didn't take anything out. So if it does come back down in, let's take another fill here on Amazon, and then let's just wait for everything else, man. I mean, Meta's, obviously, there's a fill on Amazon. Meta's came right into the money as well now, so hopefully that goes. And here's Apple. Oh, shit. I didn't even realize I had this Apple trade, by the way. It just came in, actually.
Excuse me, sorry.
Apple just came in. Big time trade here for Apple. We're ringing the register. This just hit, man. Here we go. Spin the money right now on Apple. Big win right there for us, man. As you sit down there, we take a long in front of 180. I mean, it must be over with right now. The Apple Vision set, there it is. 3,500, Neil.
There's news that's
$3,500. It's $3,500. The new Apple headset is $3,500. So let's watch out, man. It's probably going to flush to the downside. Shout out to everybody. $3,500 for Apple. Glad I own the shares, not the headset. Well, if I did, I'd sell it. So there it is. Nice little move down. Yes, sir. We make the money right there on that move by Apple. We get it. We get it good. And we get out holding half of this Apple trade. Yes, sir. Wow. What a day, man. What a day.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you because Unity's halted, so it's not as if there's a rush to this news, but there was a partnership with Apple. So Unity moved 31.5 to 35, so 34.50, and then right back. It looks like it halted. Did it halt down? Okay, so it looks like it's halted.
Ooh, I missed that Apple, Phil.
I don't know. I'm looking at it now, and I have about a bunch of dark pool prints going in there. But 180 is happening on Apple, but it is a partnership on Unity. We'll double check that in a quick second. It should open up in about 1 minute or so. But there was a big volume spike, obviously. But Apple's bouncing off 180. I had 20s to 50s. I didn't want to interrupt you there, and I'm now long at 9s as we've been taking these bounces. I think it's going to break the level.
Yeah.
180 is probably going to go. This is
right now.
one too many times. Yep, it just went. There it goes. I didn't even get filled. Oh, I know what happened. I used that stop order we shouldn't be using anymore.
Yep. That would be correct. And if you use that stop order, you are screwed. So me too, I got screwed on that one, but that's okay. We dumped out a lot of our Apple shares before, man. So it is all good, man. Nice downside move.
Oh, thank God it punched out. Holy crap. crap.
Yeah, look where we are now, 179.20, man. That's why I was ringing the damn register when we got that fill, making that 50 cents back and forth there on Apple, because here comes the downside. We missed that punch as well. I don't know what happened to that key, but it goes to the downside, which is fine. We're net short everything as this market is pretty much collapsing in. Your boys already got Meta, so that's been a definitely good trade there to the downside for Meta. Let's just get out of everything that's Apple related and then just wait to see what happens on the way back here. But it's Meta downside. We're just crushing Amazon as well. Like, you know what, man? This is what it is. Look at Amazon.
Unity back open.
Great, man. I mean, we are absolutely banking out right now. We can go over to Unity.
It's actually holding the highs for now. It's up at 34. I mean, 35. If you come here, this is a huge breakout on the daily chart. I should have pointed that out. You're above that 34 level. If it holds this, I mean, it should be all systems go. 33.70 looks like it's going to be that level. I wanted to test it back here again. And if it can test 33.70 and hold, I think kind of like Disney on that dip buy, that's where I would go for the dip. There's some size above 34. I'm looking to take a long here and give it to 33.75 on Unity.
Right.
But like this is very different. Unity's a beaten up name catching an Apple tailwind. Apple's trying to do its best to hold on to some of the bottoms, but this one can fly. Unity already up 12% on this Apple news.
Yeah, exactly. You get a deal with Apple, man, you're good to go. All right, so Amazon did make moves down. We just got some out in the 70s again, off of a 125 reload. So we're making money everywhere right now on these names. So let's just keep it. Let's just keep going on all this, man, and just see if we can't just continue watching out for everything. Unfortunately, like we said, we meant to get out when this broke 179. Unfortunately, we had to wait we got out 70s there, and then a little bit. We had a piece left, and we got them out at 48. So, you know, the last part of that Apple trade, not great, but we did pick that up, and it's a nice one now as we watch out for Apple making that move one more time. So, yeah, man, since then, I mean, there's Meta right back down to its lows again. We might as well just hold on to that. I don't know who's going to, I mean, that seems to be pretty expensive there. That's the new Vision Pro. So I think what's going to wind up happening is Apple's probably going to just release other versions of this, making it a little bit more affordable, because $3,500 is obviously just for very few people. So we'll wait to see what's going on with that.
Did you say 35 or 25?
$3,500,
okay.
Yep. It's $3,500 bucks. So $4,300 Canadian.
Right.
So when my kids ask me for that, that'll be funny. And then we'll wait to see what happens.
They will.
Oh yeah, of course they will, and they will probably get it at some point. Meta still $2 in the money right now to the downside. So let's just hold that and wait for it, man. What a great. This is why I just love this job, and I, you know, thank everybody for keep on coming, man. You never know where these trades are going to come from, and you know, to miss a day of trading, like I know my throat is not the greatest, but like, you know, we're here, we're putting on some trades, putting on a happy face and making the money. This has been my biggest day for a while, so really happy with the way everything's going. I want to make sure that everybody hits the like and the subscribe. Don't do it for me, do it for the girl behind me right there.
Like
Kat.
and subscribe today.
Hola. And she's having a good day. She's had a busy day as well, which
Good.
I know. I mean, she's been on the phone the entire time, but a bit of a bounce play happening over here in Unity. It does hold on to 33.85 there, so I got the dip early as it consolidated. Then it actually got right off of my level, so we add to it on the way back into the upside, give myself an average of 34.16. If it gets back toward that high, there's a seller at 50. So I'm going to have to take something out in front of 34.50. There's just been a seller at that 50 level, so it's going to make sense to ring a little bit in front of it and then try to get the break of the high of the day. What else? I mean, Apple's still dumping, and
Yeah,
it's still flushing here. I didn't get any. Look, it's going to show purple, but I'm not short Apple. I don't know. It's like, you know what? I must have had a take profit order still out there, and therefore my sell order just got coded as a short sell. But I'm not short it, just to get it out of the way. You don't see a short position on Apple for me. That was me getting out of that last-ish long in front of that 180 level. As it heads to the downside. Gonna have to watch out for Disney, because as much as that was holding up nicely, we're coming right back into that support level. So I'm only risking 10 cents in slippage, 11 cents plus slippage underneath that 91.50. If this can continue to hold up, I like it because you're getting partnerships with Apple on a name that's been beaten up a little bit. So if you're going to see some strength, the Trump trend can hold. I'm going to like this one off some of these lows. The NASDAQ's holding on for dear life at the bottom. The question becomes, can it continue to do so? We bounced several times off this low. Can we continue to hold it is going to be the real question mark. Pretty much right at break even, down 0.1% on the market there. There goes Unity to the upside, just another push in. It didn't quite break the high of the day, but want to make sure we're ringing the register into that high. I'd rather be long going into 35 than long breaking 35. At least that way I have a better risk to reward proposition. You go long 35, I don't want to give it a $1.30 stop. I'd rather be long in front of 33.70 and then be able to hold through 35 even. So let's see if Unity can get going.
All right, what just filled there? Oh, Amazon. Okay, we got an Amazon fill there at 73, so that's going to be a good fill for us as that just came in. Nice move down here on Amazon, finally starting to get that party started as well. I mean, what some good outs on Apple, like just crazy because of how far it's down. We're still up really handsomely on Apple today. So, you know, we started the long parade, then here's the sell the news, and there it is, a big downside swoosh here for Apple, taking the market negative as well, by the way, as the NASDAQ is now negative for the day, as I'm assuming is the ES. But we've done, it's 310 now. I mean, I'm hoping for some more trades to come through, and we'll find some if there are any, of course. But for right now, we're very, very happy with what we've been doing here for everybody on the show. And we're going to keep doing that, man, over and over and over again as we continue to just have a great time trading. We talked about trading is life for me, and I hope that it is for you guys as well. But there it is. Nice move. All right, Meta, $2.50 now in the money. It's at the day's low. I don't think we do anything with this, and I don't even want to break lower. I mean, when the market's moving like this, it's just moving on Apple. Apple just continues to go lower and lower and lower. I mean, maybe we have to look at a better time frame here. Apple 178 coming into play. I mean, I'd rather see it at these bottoms, 177. So we still have a little ways to go before we try to buy this. 177 on Apple. So I think that's a good buy. We'll wait and try to be as patient as we can for that specific trade. Hopefully we're able to be and able to take some money off that if it does come through.
The Meta 15-minute?
The Meta keeps tanking. It's over that thing? Is that
no,
what you said?
no, I was asking if that was off your 15 or 20 minutes.
That's 20 minutes,
20
yeah.
minutes,
It's just... Yeah, just trying to find some levels.
When in doubt, zoom out,
Yeah.
right? Like when you, the only reason I said that is because when you have a stock which is quadunking or breaking out like crazy, like zoom out, find something like a key price level and then wait for it to get there. Because unless you're holding it in the money, you've got to look to see what's going to be coming up next. I was just checking that out on Unity because I don't think I'd zoomed out far enough. This breakout, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but if you look at the daily chart, there really isn't a heck of a lot standing in the way. Now, the last time it was up here, 35 was support and then broke down, so I'm trailing it underneath 35 because rejecting here, I mean, it could come all the way back. I'm talking all the way back into 33.5. But if it holds 35 even, you can start thinking about like pie in the sky numbers for Unity. And I could zoom out even further, and I'm sure you would get the idea, but I'm just going to do this, pull up my trade ideas chart. This is the weekly on Unity. You can barely even see the move to the upside that's happening on the daily when you pull up the weekly chart. So this is a name that's been beaten up, but higher low has been put in. I think it can be a good one. I'm just going to be holding this for a trail back underneath 35 even. We'll try to lock in at least 80 cents here as long as there isn't too much slippage on Unity. If it can hold 35, that's fantastic. But I'd be a little bit scared that it's come a little bit too far. I did not mention, Intel's a NASDAQ stock. Last I checked, it's finally starting to make a bit of a move. This is a tight risk to reward. It's the first time I've been long Intel all day long, I should say. All morning we're looking only short. It made a series of higher lows and is bouncing off a big bottom. So 29.90. I am in and out once. It was kind of like I made a keystroke error and then just kind of jumped back into the trade literally in the same second. So I'm long at 96 here on Intel. Now that it's above 30 even, I'm looking for that first 10 cents and then 15, 20, 25, 30, all that good stuff that Intel usually does. Thank you very much for the super chat there, Mr. Garcia. I sold the news, but I'm a futures trader, so sold from 14,690 to 14,6. When it dipped to 14,580, I bought to sell at 14.6. I moved my stops and almost blew up my account. Crisis averted. Don't move stops. I honestly, congratulations. Sometimes the best trades you make are the ones where you save yourselves money or like crisis. I like crisis averted, but it's very important. Do not move stops. If you have a reason to believe wrong is wrong at a certain level and you should be getting out, don't just say, oh, I'll give it a little bit more. No. That's a recipe for disaster because you put work in as to why you have the reasons for a trade and the reasons to get out of a trade. And when you move your stops, oftentimes that's counter to that, that reason or that news. And by the way, you can see the counter over my head, exactly over my head. Oh, now it's not. Right there. 399,000 subscribers on the channel. So if you hit the subscribe, you're going to help us join the 400,000 club, although I want that 500,000 and then a milli later this year. So we'll get that counter going. If you're watching and are not a subscriber, you don't want to be missing out. So you're going to get notifications every time that we're live, which is pretty much every single day, and we have new content coming out. So look, hit that subscribe if you haven't already done so. It's a wild one, and then you get breaking news all over the place too. Like, don't spend money on a Bloomberg terminal or an Icon. When Unity hits, we'll hit Unity. It just hit 36. I'm moving my trail up to 35.50, and let's see how far it can go.
Nice, yeah, good trade there on Unity, of course. And yeah, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe all day, every day. The funniest part about all of this, in my opinion, is like AMD is just like holding out and even going higher right there. I think you got to watch out for this NASDAQ because we could just bust long now. I mean, who cares what everyone thought about Apple, honestly? I mean, they're going to sell a shit ton of these things, so it doesn't really matter about the price. But, it'll come down. This is the first iteration, of course. So people that got scared about that 3,500, I could definitely see a flush down to the downside. But let's just wait to see who's going to be there, who's going to buy it at that price, who they're selling them to, so on and so forth. I mean, there's so many people out there that just buy whatever Apple, not just Apple, but like anybody comes out. Like if Google came out with a headset, it'd be the same thing, right? And so let's just wait to see what happens right now with the NASDAQ. We want to still stay net short. I'm just thinking, like, if Apple ever got to 180 again, I really like that short. I don't know if that's going to happen. Our out here for Meta is right here, so I wanted to bring that up before we get stopped. 271.20. So we're going to make sure to lock in $2 on Meta. Like, sure, it kept bouncing off 270.50. If it gets back down there, we'll be there for that. But for right now, it is looking like it wants to just continue to march a little bit higher here. So, let's get out and make sure, like, I just don't want this thing to get back here and then all of a sudden we've given up like $1.80 or something from that bottom. So we'll take it out now and then we'll just regroup it, right? The same way that we took out excuse me, the same way we took out Tesla right there as well at 216.20, and now it's right there again. So let's just wait to see. Hopefully we can make some, something out of this and put a little bit of money back in our pocket here with Meta. So far so good, but it is close to getting out of the pocket right now. That's Meta.
Oh my goodness, I knew I brought this up for a reason and then forgot to mention something. Unity also has a 10% short float. I'm just showing you guys my trade ID scanner. I could go to floatchecker.com, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty much right around that number. So part of the reason it can make a bit of an extended move, which might seem a little bit irrational, I wouldn't disagree if you wanted to call this irrational. I'm continuing to trail this. I think if it goes stupid, I don't know, if it goes insane and gets to like $40, probably, I don't think this move should get it to $40 in one day. So if it gets anywhere near that number, I think it's just going to be a short. I wish I hadn't been taking profit underneath, but that is as far as I'm concerned, if I'm ever chasing a flash news story, I'm always scalping out and then holding for the dream in a stock like this. Like this isn't Apple or Nvidia. It's a squeeze play. So when it gets to 37, the trail just moves up. Right now it was under 36. I'm going to move it to 36.50. If it gets to 37, same thing. It's essentially about like a 60-cent trail from whatever the current high is.
All right, I'm looking here, getting some more short on Amazon. I mean, why not? Let's see if we can get a little bit more, like a little bit better of a price up here, into 125. We still have that. We just took a 95 there. We still have the same stop though, like 10s or so. It's coming down. It is pretty strong, but it just keeps on giving these dubs. So we'll just keep on taking them, but it's getting a little shallower. So we'll start it here in case we miss it. But again, this is 125 O's right there. We're going to give it to 125.10. If it breaks it, and we'll deal with it at that point. My Meta came out right here, right now, so you can see that just hit there, getting out on the 50-period break. So here goes Meta back up to the upside. I really do want to go long on Apple, I think. It's just, I was looking for where 180, I mean, here, hold on a second. Let me just call this up so you guys can see it. I mean, that's the teal right there at 179.60. You know, I think like that could probably be a good break, 179.50, and then just give it back to 179. But I don't know. Like I kind of really want to put on like decent shares. Like I just don't want to hold something, you know, like a small piece for like a big move. Like I don't think Amazon or Apple is going to have a big move. So I'd rather put on more shares and take less profit than put on small amount of shares and try to wait for something. I don't know. So right now on Apple, I want to be clear on a position and I don't really have one. That's why this 180 to me, where we kept on bouncing off of before we broke it, like that's the key spot right there for me. So I feel like it's better off to wait for that, as of course now the market's trying to come down a little bit, which should be good for our Amazon. We're short here at O's. If we can always take out 10% or something for 10 cents, we try to do that, especially when the 10-cent mark is right here, you know, an area that we've done before. Then if we dip down into the 80s, we'll take that. I'm really like, the day we're having is great. So we're just in scout mode right now, and just trying to like top off on some of these trades. So we can watch out for AI. AI is moving around. That's just taken out, up 10% today. And again, off that bottom that we called over and over again, 30 bucks. Hopefully we can get an opportunity to do that at some other point, but for right now, no for that. So yeah, we missed that opportunity. AI, Amazon, because we're not retracing down now, probably stops us out, but that's fine. We have a small amount of shares. Amazon's going to be well positive for us today, regardless of what happens. We take a little bit more at 03, and then that'll be it. And then we just wait for a pull, either down or we get out. Like, look where my stop is, 10 cents higher. So if we get stopped out of this, then we're stopped out of Amazon for 10-cent hit. Like, you know, that's absolutely worth it, in my opinion, in this very volatile market. So let's just wait. I mean, it doesn't look that volatile, you know, but some of the names that you're trading, you know, have been moving around. So let's just wait to see. I feel like Amazon's going to stop us out. So I'm already sort of slapping and fail on this trade. It just doesn't look like it wants to do it. We'll hold it because I'm not going to lose 5 cents. Let's just lose 10, which is our target here, and see what happens with Amazon. I'm pretty sure this is going to take it right here.
I gotta give the Rick James unity. I told you I was just basically trailing it like 50 cents. So I was probably the first real pullback going to get wicked out. It broke 37, it got to 37, like 59 or something like that, and then I got trailed out of it pretty. It was a 50-cent move, and then I got slipped another 10 cents, so I got out basically at 36.90 something. But it just made another fresh high. Unity is absolutely flying. Maybe that 10% short, it's acting like it's a hell of a lot more than that, because Unity, since the move started, $5 to the upside, since the consolidation, another $3. It's up 21% now and flying. As I did mention, if I see 40, my brain's telling me that if I see 40, I should be thinking short. If that wouldn't work, 43 was a big level on the daily. So, you know, last time I checked, Apple is a good place to have a partnership going, and it is certainly working out. Disney, which is the other deal that was announced during this event, while Unity was going, Disney bounced again off that 90.60, so it found previous resistance. That's where the bounce zone was, higher low being put in. I'd love to see it hold a 91 here and then maybe work a trade off of that, but for now, I think it's all about that 90.60. I can come back to this trade after getting out of Unity and then try to rinse and repeat that one. So a few longs starting to bounce. The market's bouncing, but these are names that were going for their own independent reasons, which I think makes them a little bit, well, not at this price on Unity, but at least with Disney, maybe, I don't know what safer long is the right way to call it, but there's other reasons to think this market could go, and you don't poke the bear and don't sleep on NVIDIA, because NVIDIA held that 388. It wicked underneath that bottom, and is now it's really starting to go. 392, it's up $3 from that 88 level. Yeah, you wake this one up, and all of a sudden, the market has a chance at getting that little bit of a bid. I still only have 2 longs after getting out of Unity. I'm not sure I get back into that Unity long, though. I don't know. I think it's chasing it a little bit too far at this point.
Yeah, Amazon did make that run, and then it went back down. I mean, it's still at the same level that it's been at. So Amazon is out for sure. Just trying to find some more names, man. Yeah, thanks, Saskatchewan. I know Tesla 215 long was correct. Yeah, I know. We talked about that, and I don't have it on board. So, yeah, so long only counts if you have it, and we don't have it. So, yeah, that would have been pretty nice on Tesla. So thanks for that, Saskatchewan. Love your province, by the way. We'll be visiting there again soon. Probably not, but maybe. All right, so that would be that one there. Disney, well, I was waiting at 57s. I don't know why I put it there earlier. Didn't notice that it came back. Should have probably had that long. I'm still holding out for much higher on Disney, of course. And SoFi, we have 10% left. It's kind of making a move to the upside. I'm pretty exhausted, man. Like I'm just trying to get through the day. We're up, like I said, we'll ring the registers there. Congratulations to Max, who's killing it today. I'm going to see if I can catch him on this one. But Max destroyed it. You guys already heard that today. So we'll try to join him there very, very soon. Disney, SoFi, AMD, the only trades we have on. I like that Tesla trade for sure. I'm going to cancel. I had Apple. Oh, that stopped in trigger. So I just had to cancel it. I still like a 180, but I mean... Now, I was thinking about a short. I'm almost thinking about a long right now if we can get going back up there. I might just leave it alone. Let's go over to Palantir. Palantir right now is breaking VWAP a little bit, but see, like it had such great moves earlier. And that, like if we ever saw a level like this, then maybe that would be something to play off of. But right now, either comes back down to 1510 or we kind of break this long, I'm thinking 1534. So we can definitely have a look there on Palantir coming into right into here. 1535, 1534. I feel like that's a good break long against that VWAP trade. But right now, just like in the last half hour, it's kind of doing nothing. So we'll have to wait to see if Palantir and Apple announce a partnership. That'd be cool. There, I don't think they can have any business together, but we'll wait to see. Or maybe Apple announces like a cryptocurrency that they're involved with. That could get that going, as we've had a rough day in the crypto markets today for sure.
That's what crypto would need today to get out of the doldrums. I'll tell you that much. It's been an ugly day.
It's been an ugly day. We should have shorted AMD right there against the 200 period. Look at AMD crashing back in as well. So that trade seems to be wanting to work out for us there. But again, don't really have anything on board here that'll represent that trade. So we just have the one AMD short that we've had up here since 119. As you can see from there, and I'm still waiting for it to break the bottom. Maybe that comes out right now, a bottom break here in AMD. So that's about all I'm trying to work with right now. It ain't much, but looking for more trades. Look at Amazon, of course. Runs me and then right back down. So yeah, some good opportunities there. We shouldn't have I was happy getting out of Amazon, but I don't know.
So I'm gonna ring your register, but I made a bit of a keystroke error on Unity there. I had the short off of the high. It got to 39.50. So the second, it was free locates, by the way, which is a little surprising, to be honest with you. But free locates on it. It did get close to that 40 level, started curling at 39.5, which usually when you wait for that price, by the time it gets there, it's no good. I got the short right at that 20 marker, put the stop at the high of the day, got 70 cents, and then went to get out the next leg and accidentally, I punched out of everything and got a little bit of a long at 37.80. I got out of that long flat because I did not want to be long the stock. You don't try to make it work in that situation. Just recognize that you made a little bit of a keystroke error for myself. I didn't want to hold it back into this 37 level. Let's see if it can bounce. We grabbed the long a little bit late. We got it after the halt. It then broke out the halt price. We got the consolidation long rather than the breakout long. I always prefer those. And then the short off that 40 area is going to pay as well. So congratulations if you had Unity. This is, sometimes you get like the Apple is the big event. And sometimes it's a sympathy play because Unity's deal with Apple is very, very good for Unity. It's beaten up stock, and congrats if you hold it. I know some people were saying in the chat they own this one in their Roth, so obviously that's going to be a good look for them. I can't really speak to the stock in the long term, not something I've ever owned myself, but the price action is nice so far. If it holds 37, it could have a secondary play. That's where I would have wanted to hold the short to. I don't want to be going long up here into air. I feel it's a little bit too far. But thank you for Unity and some of the action that we've had this afternoon. It's been a fun one. C3AI, by the way, not to sleep on it, but it just made another press at the high of the day, held 36 even. It's at that level that it rejected last time. But the last time it got to 36, it did press to 37 even and then reject. So I'm looking for one more move to the upside on C3AI before I would take a bit of a short trade there. It's still $1 away on C3AI. This one you did have to pay for locates.
What's up, Saskatchewan? Thanks for those points there. You can gift the points. So I don't... Is there any stocks you guys want me to look at? Yeah, thanks, man. I will try to feel better. We'll see. Hopefully we'll be here tomorrow, and, sometimes it's got to drag me out for me not to be here. It looks like AMD is... trying to break 118. I mean, what Sono, Airbnb. Yeah, I mean, I like Airbnb. Oh, you know what? Airbnb kind of sounds like Airbnb Baba. So let's go over to Alibaba with a nice move upside right now for Alibaba as well. Taking out some of those highs of the day right there, 84.15, 84.16. Yeah, pass on Alibaba. Okay, Airbnb has been a stock that I put into my, ABNB. Put this one into my Roth as well. Oh, yes, sir. We're already 10% up, man. We bought this one at 105 last week. So this has been a nice call there. We talked about this one before, Airbnb. So that's instantly up 10%. So you guys will hear me talk all the time about some of the positions that I have in the longer term accounts. And that's one of them right there. Now, Airbnb coming in. I don't know why we did the bear there. We should have hit the bull for that name. Payc. I don't know what that is. Oh, I don't know that stock. Yeah, drink some whiskey tonight. I don't really drink too much, so we'll see. We do have I have another Little League practice. Like, that's part of the problem. I was saying that before. I just like overcommitted to everything right now. And now I'm coaching a rep team as well. Like, it's insane. Okay, so as we go to the downside right now for this market, that's Airbnb. I like this stock. We've talked about that over and over again, but you know, we don't really trade it too much. So although that looks like a really good level, you know, going back to Friday, we did have some good hold there at 116.60. Maybe if we take that, then we can sort of climb back to 118. I actually like this trade. Watch out for a 116.60 break. We only have a half hour left right now. It just came out 114 to sell. So pretty low on the sell side of things right now as we go. But yeah, it could be COVID, John Riz. It's not. It's not. I do have this Friday off. Is going to the Jays game with my brother-in-law, so that should be a lot of fun. And then finally, the first time golfing in about 18 months or something. We're going to that party zone or whatever.
The Corona one?
Yeah.
Yo, the Corona, it's lit.
Well, I don't know. We got the general admission. We're just going everywhere.
The Corona, on a Friday night,
Yeah.
the Corona one.
Yeah. He wants to go party.
There's
so.
two up there. The Corona one's that's the party side, it's like a club. And then the other side is a little bit more family oriented.
No, we're not planning on doing any family-like activities. So
Yeah, you want the Corona
if anybody's at the Jays game, hit me up on Twitter. Are you going Friday, maybe?
I'm for sure on Saturday. I had to double check what we're doing on Friday.
All right, so if anybody's in the Corona zone or party time and wants to buy me a beer, come on Friday.
J-Mart has seats up there. It was a buddy of mine.
Okay. You can get seats in that area?
He bought seasons tickets right next to the Corona just so he could party there and have somewhere to sit.
Right.
Which is smart because season tickets 500, they're reasonable. The way they're jacking up our seats, we might have that discussion because it's like.
Yeah, they jack because they're doing more advancements or enhancements to the Rogers Center.
So basically, we can't get our seats.
No, I know. I saw that they were starting to
we've
jack
had
them
for
up like
5
10
years.
times or something.
And so,
They shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Our equivalent seats will now be like rows further back because now they're going to be considered like those VIP whatever that no one actually wants to pay for. I'm there to have a dog and enjoy the game. I don't need some VIP treatment. Like it's going to start to be like a New York Yankees game or a Mets game where you watch on TV and there's nobody on that behind the plate because they're all underneath.
Well, they're all just
it's all corporate.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be like a Leaf game, which is fine. That's what you want to do.
Yeah,
Just admit it. And then all the actual real fans aren't gonna want to have premium seats anymore because they want to experience the game. So thank you, Blue Jays. That'll probably be me as well. Now I'm just mad. I shouldn't be mad.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a Jays season seat holder. I am surprised that they don't do better for those people.
It's Rogers. They're trying to make money. I own Rogers shares, so I guess I should.
Yeah. Although I'm with TELUS now, my cell phone bills are free for life. Thank you, Rogers, for that as well. That was another name that I was buying forever as well, just like Starbucks and Lululemon. My wife can buy a pair of pants. Probably not the rest. Not like every quarter for the rest of her life, but for a while, probably, especially if those don't get too much more expensive, Lululemon. I always had that theory where, you know, my wife's so in tune with everything, just buy whatever's hot. Like that e.l.f. Cosmetics, have you guys seen that? What is it, just ELF? They're kind of like doing, that is what it is, e.l.f. Beauty. Look at this stock. This one is another thing. My wife told me about this a hell of a long time ago, man, that these guys were making waves on TikTok, and I don't know anything about them, honestly. But look, I mean, how do I even zoom this out? Like, I'll find out tomorrow where I'm in on this stock. I have a lot of garbage stocks as well, right? Like, we've talked about those BarkBox, PaySafe, all the freaking marijuana stocks can just go light themselves on fire as far as I'm concerned right now. But look at e.l.f. 105. Some of these bottoms, like I'm long in the teens somewhere, or in the 20s, something down here. This was like a COVID play that I haven't looked at in a hell of a long time. It's not a big position, but now it's nicely to the upside. So it's this kind of stuff. It's like whatever's hitting on like TikTok or whatever. Like if I could have invested in Prime, like those Logan Paul drinks and all that, and KSI, like, I don't know, man. That stuff is getting out of hand as well. Like, I just feel like you want to hop onto some of these, and then maybe once you've made the profit, go into like an Ulta Beauty or something like that, because you want to make the money on these crazy names, and then once they start to sizzle off, get away from them. But Lululemon has definitely made themselves into what's good.
I'll make a good point on that because there's a stock you own that, by the way, I'm out of Intel. I lost my 7 cents on Intel. I should have just stayed going short that stock. But it's been for me the Unity show this afternoon in Disney because that's been the flash news.
Unity was a Tony position at one point as well.
But at 30, so he's in the money.
No, I'm pretty sure he got out of it when he had it because he also had Adobe pretty low as well.
Oh,
Adobe's
really?
a name that I meant to get into that I didn't.
What I was going to say is one of my COVID
Adobe is 400.
One of my COVID-ish plays was trading. I was trading a lot of U.S. steel. So I was getting in and out of it often, like making scalp plays. And then I basically I took that profit, and then when I was rolling into more conservative names, like I was rolling into healthcare and energy and a bunch of other stuff, I didn't actually roll any of it into a materials name. Now that being said, I do own a lot. I own an ETF, which is sort of heavy on miners and stuff like that in Canada. So maybe that's the reason in my head I wasn't doing it. But at that same time, I remember I was getting out of U.S. Steel. And I think it was around the time you got into
Nucor.
I was going to say. And it was, and it's a good stock. It's a good stock. I do have a lot in that sector, but nothing in the U.S. But that's what you really should do. Is you should take that. It's not funny money, but it's like your play money, not your plays, but like your I took a shot money, and you take that profit and then roll it into something so that it can do that thing where it just compounds over time, and that's what you want to end up doing.
Smart euthanasia, yeah.
And that's what you got to do. So I've seen a lot of, okay, so I'm going to go back to this for a second because Unity is continuing to pull back. I don't know where the bottom is going to be here, but if you were making haphazard guesses, which is on dip buys, a lot of times that's what you're doing. If this thing holds 34, which that was the previous level on the daily. I have to zoom way in here. There you go. 33.70, 34, kind of look at the round number. This could be like the start of, not the start of, because I guess it's the continuation of an up move. Like you're going to have another gap up. Where can it hold? Is it going to come all the way back and hold previous high? Or is it going to hold above 35, set us up a bit of a flag? I think the trade, as far as I'm concerned, is done. It's 337. Like there's almost no way I need to overtrade this stock at this point.
I didn't realize it was that.
Yeah, it's actually much later. I have one position. I'm in Disney. I don't know what happened to the position board there. I'm long Disney at 90.60. That's the only thing I got left. But I wouldn't be chasing this move. I'd be looking for a continuation possibly tomorrow. That's about it. Like, do we get a shot at a continuation long off 33.70, maybe a 35 even? Let things settle down. Apple has been the other thing. And I actually wish this was short. It kind of sucks, but that was not a short. That was just me covering the long position. Went several dip buys, was pretty greedy, quite frankly. Not greedy on the 1 to 80.50, that was right, but certainly should have been doing a little bit better. And the trend has been to the downside. If you just went short at that top when they announced the VR headset, that was the moment. And I feel like if it had been at 85, everybody would have had it and the world would have had it, but it's a lower high where it does the real hwadunk. Apple's still an obviously great company, but it's been due for a pullback, and this could be interesting. Sean, as you mentioned, that 77 level, I think that's what we'll be glued to 77 level tomorrow. I think it's almost inevitable.
Yeah, I like that level, and I just put in some, I don't know what that emoji or whatever that thing is there in the chat, but like Amazon, come on.
What happened?
Take a line from Neil. Come on, son, Amazon, come on.
That's not my line. That's Ed
No,
Lover.
but you're the one that, it's not your line, but you always say it. Come on, son.
Come on, son.
Come on, son.
You got to say it like Ed Lover. He's like the extra
like,
bass.
Come on, son. Come on, son. Yeah, I'm not feeling the great. I could say that better than that.
You guys know, hopefully everybody knows that when they, like that come on man that they do on, it's
NFL.
The NFL thing when they're like, come on, man. You know they stole that bit from Ed Lover, who's a great comedian, really funny guy. So if you've never, give the respect to where it's due. Like he's the man that originated. I know it's more famous if you're an NFL fan, but quite frankly, Ed Lover.
Come on, son.
That dude's freaking hilarious as far as I'm concerned. AI, I suppose it was a short off 36. I wanted a break of 36 before I would have shorted it. So no AI trade for me. Super strong move up 10% again today. So,
oh man, I want an animation, Pratt. I want the You Got Mossed one, where like I'm like reaching over like a stock and I'm like mossing some stock.
that one they at least got their own.
Be like, you got mossed, Neil.
Yes.
Boom, like that, and try to catch it up there. It's kind of like this one. Another one.
one.
I'm just waiting to get sued for that.
one.
That'd be hilarious. What's up, DJ Colin?
Why is it black and white though?
I like the black and white.
No, it's cool. I'm just curious if
Yeah.
that was a conscious choice.
And by the way, DJ Colin is like supreme golfer. Like he's on Golf Digest right now. You should see this guy's bag.
what's his handicap? Is he good?
Oh, he probably sucks at golfing. I have no idea. I mean, this guy just golfs all the time. His bag is Louis Vuitton, is this, is that. And his whole Instagram is all, I can show
I
it.
wouldn't have guessed, but
Neither would have I.
would never have guessed that.
I was looking my brother-in-law because we're going golfing. He's sending me all this stuff. Shout out to everybody that's following me on Instagram, man. Try to get a little bit higher on there for that. You know what? I'm not even gonna look for it. I don't know. I don't want to search anything up right now, but it's hilarious. If you ever find DJ Khaled on, I didn't
Have
realize.
you seen his swing?
Yeah, he shows.
Is it good or is it like Charles Barkley?
No, it's not Charles Bark. I mean, DJ Khaled's 300 pounds, so it's not like, like his swing doesn't look like
Look
he's
at John Daly, baby.
exactly. Have you seen that guy swing lately?
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
I don't. You know me in golf. Like I know the guys from.
No, I'm just saying you
from
don't have
back
the
in the
perfect
day.
swing. It's like me too. Like these guys, when you watch professional golfers nowadays, it's honestly they're all 6'5". Like Brooks Koepka,
they're
freaking
serious
looks like
athletes,
Brendan
bro.
over there. Like this guy, Brooks Koepka's jacked up.
These
He's
guys
like
are athletes.
they're athletes.
Yeah, they're serious
Sheesh.
athletes now.
They're nowadays with medicine too, nutrition and all that. These guys are absolute animals. But yeah, shout out to DJ Colin. I mean, it's just really funny if you guys want to find a funny golfing Instagram handle. Like I didn't realize it, so maybe that's why it's more funny to me. But yeah. Well, I want to share my Insta wall. No, what do you mean? This is Instagram right here. I'm not. What do you mean? I'll share it with everybody. Here's my son. This is one of my favorite moments of all time on the show when my kid came on here and gave. We have go get this here. I'll put this link in here. Go find it, man. There's some really fun stuff on my Instagram, including every single day. We have this sticky note coming out here. Here's what I'm talking about with Hyde Park all the time. Here's me and my guy Brian Shannon. Here's the new barbecue as well. Here's me. Here, shout out to, hey, yo, what's up, Alfredo? These guys are straight from Mexico. We went to Taco Fest and Taste of Toronto. I got invited here. So I want to find out who these guys were, but they're straight from Mexico. Alfredo, if you listen to the song, you'll know what it was because people were telling me that these guys are pretty famous. So shout out to that as well. That's Taco Fest. Here's my guy again. This is a Throwback Thursday. Is it Throwback Thursday or Throwback Friday? I have no idea. Back when we were at the CN Tower again. A little thing my wife did. These are all my Jordans that are going to come through here, just all my kicks. So you guys can go find that. Anyways, cool stuff on Instagram. Make sure you hit it up as we go. There's the 6 rings right there. Those are AF1s. No, those are Jordans. Anyways, okay, whatever. Who cares? That's Instagram. Go find it. And anyways, DJ Khaled is where this all started. So.
Yes, it is. Oh, someone just asked you in the chat. How long you drive a ball and how good are you at putting? I'm going to throw this one in there only because we used to golf back in the day when I could golf without my back being an issue. And I will say that out of the group, I would say you were the best putter. I don't know if you'd say that was the best part of your game.
I mean, no, it's not.
Our crew was like really, really bad. Everyone was pretty.
Oh yeah, our crew sucks, but
like really horrible on the greens. So I want to say that's
the only
the
one
reason.
was Amar that could have played, but then nobody
No,
else.
Cheese was okay.
Oh yeah, but that
Cheese
guy
was
takes
okay.
more mulligans than he does.
He cheat. Is it cheating?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you tell people.
No,
that
but
you're-
it's.
No.
Because we were playing skins, right? It's like you can't take.
Well,
this
then
is
in
mul-
that situation, no.
We're
But
playing
is-
skins for money. You can't be taking. It didn't matter. I was winning none of them anyway, so it didn't really matter to me. But you can't be taking mulligans when you're playing for money, can you?
if you tell, no, not if you're
No.
playing for money. No.
I'm just saying.
No, but
Jeez.
it's golf is like it's just you against yourself, unless you're playing for money, and
Which we
where
were.
I make that. Here's High Park. Last year we won. Troy. This is in High Park, so we won last year. My daughter won. Well, that's a diamond trophy there. She won a sportsmanship award or something like that. And then plus we took down a couple tournaments. So that's what I've been busy with, and we're doing that again here today. Oh yeah, by the way, I also coach curling. So here's some kids here. See, I sometimes think that I should be wearing a helmet in case I wind up falling down here. As well, you can see I'm not too interested. There's my lovely wife, of course, as well.
have to wear a
This is me. Look at this throwback. You want to talk about a throwback. This is 20 years ago. at least 20 years ago. Throwback Thursday. Thank you for everyone who liked this one. Over 500 likes on this. So yeah, I wish I still had my hair. But, you know, kids and trading later as it goes. Here's my lovely daughter again at hockey. Shout out, there's Fahad. Shout out to Fahad. You know, we talked about, oh, here, what about this? Let's do this right now. This is not very, Neil, I'm just going to ask Neil, but you don't have to ask everybody in the chat. Pick one here.
Start, Home Alone.
Yep. So you got to start, bench, and cut.
No, I didn't see that was Christmas Vacation. No, sorry. Let me take that for a second. I didn't see Christmas Vacation. Start, Christmas Vacation.
I'm benching here. Is that what I said? No, I cut Elf.
Bench Home Alone and cut Elf. Cut Elf.
Cut Elf, right. The Elf's the worst one.
Because it's those three. If you're picking from those three all day, every day, and look, you can call me a boomer or old or whatever you want, but Chris, that's fine. I understand it. I'm old. I get it, Greg. But Christmas Vacation.
We are actually the same generation as Greg.
He talks a lot of trash. Greg, you're closer to me than you are to than most of the people. Come on, let's be real for a second. You're closer to me than you are to the young men on the floor. Okay, Greg, he's chirping over there. But I think Chevy Chase is hilarious, and I'll go to the grave on that one. I will say this much: my daughter is on a Home Alone phase. Everything is making traps.
There's like 5 of them, by the way.
Phases?
No, movies. Home Alone movies.
I can't.
You can't, if you go past 3, you're doing good, man,
I can't do past the
Donald
2.
Trump's in the second one, which is pretty funny.
The second one's okay. Yeah. Once you don't have Joe Pesci in them at least? Was he in the other one?
No, it stops at 2.
Well then, okay, good.
3 is like,
I
think he's in his own house. It's not even Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, I mean, look, it was Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, and I apologize, I forget the other guy's name. Who was his partner?
Oh yeah. We always forget that guy.
He's funny in the movie. I just have no idea what else he's done. But long story short, I think Chevy Chase is hilarious. I love Fletch. I love all of his stuff. Yeah. He's underrated. Huh?
What happened?
What the hell was that?
Another one?
No. What did you guys just do? You guys are laughing over there because you're gonna put the OK Boomer on us. Is that what it is? Okay, that's fine. Wet Bandits for life. Wet Bandits for life. You call me a boomer all you want. I don't care.
I mean, it's like you said, man. Your kid is like so young, and they're loving Home Alone.
Yes. So obviously it's great.
Why is that a boomer to cut Elf? I don't get that. I mean, it's just not as good of a movie.
It's definitely not as good of a movie, and I think Will Ferrell's hilarious.
Who would say otherwise?
Who the heck is comparing Elf to those movies?
I mean, how gangster do you have to be where you're robbing houses and then turning on the water for every house that you rob? Like, you're basically just telling people, hey, look, I just robbed this house. And then, like, calling yourself Wet Bandits, it's like, it's just so ridiculous.
It's so great.
To do that. It's like, anyways. Okay.
Bad Santa's a good movie, too, Mazda. We could talk movies forever. We could talk movies forever.
Oh, but we talked about this last week. It's Caddyshack. For Chevy Chase.
Oh yeah, and
Bill Murray and stuff like that.
That's a huge, like, those set of classics. I love the old SNL stuff too as well. Back when they just didn't give it.
There's a new CarPlay. Ooh, that's exciting.
What else
that's the Apple CarPlay. I think that should be.
Did they mention? Hold on a second. They mentioned something about that during.
Well, someone just said the new Apple CarPlay looks cool. So shout out to who that was there in the chat. Well, look. Before we, well, we should talk about
imbalances in 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should talk something about the market at some point, so we'll do that now. SoFi, so good today. I always say that, and it's not even really a joke. But right there, 731. I was just gonna put a stop in if we break it. We have 10% left. I mean, probably there must be 9 outs here, a little bit more than that. We have a very, very small position left. It's probably less than 10%. And that was our best. Well, our best out was down here at 710. That was kind of a fluke, not a fluke, but this was a big dip down. It hasn't been back there since. So we took a 715 when it was back there earlier. And right now, I'm just going to put a stop in. So this is how we do it. Stop order, and then I just have to put in the price. 7.31. So right there, I push enter, and now I hands off that, and we'll wait to see if 731 ever comes and hits here for SoFi. If it does, we'll get out. If not, we'll wait for these imbalances, which are coming out right now. So, well, not right now, in a minute and a half. I just get rid of ARCA, and then we're going to see. If you want to know what these imbalances are, Brendan brought the number. Still 114 to sell. This is from the morning. So, Palantir, you can see the times here, all from 9:30. These will all update at 3:50, and right now in Lovely. And back to normal, what temperatures here? It was 38 or something on the weekend. It's now 24.
It was nice yesterday.
Yeah, so it's beautiful out right now. 24 degrees here in lovely Toronto, Ontario. But the time is also 3:49, 10 seconds, 11 seconds. We'll wait to see what happens here. If this, I'm going to put a bid down for SoFi. Honestly, around 17 or 18. If we get a fill down here, great on that imbalance. If it rips up, we should be able to execute out on that stop order.
So yeah, the imbalances will come through. I only have that Disney left. I'm not going to move my stop. It's at 50. It's kind of riding in the money at this point. We're looking at Unity. I'll go back to it just because this is the one that was moving. It does hold a bid at 36 and looks like it wants to close above that 35 level. So the breakout pretty good. It did flush off that 40 level, but a big move there on the Apple news. C3AI does end up holding the top end of the range. So I think it's going to, as long as it holds up here, I think we get a shot at that 37 level in maybe even both directions tomorrow. 37, this is where last week it had that lower high, I should say. So if it gets through that, maybe it does a bit of a retracement. NVIDIA, oh my goodness, NVIDIA off the bottom.
The imbalances are out, to watch out for your positions.
Imbalances are out. I only have Disney. So, Neo 1.4 to buy. That's the big one. I don't know this. I mean, COIXT is just a penny stock, so ignore that. T 1.3 to sell. Morgan Stanley 1 million to sell. That's somewhat interesting. Not much else here. NVIDIA 500,000 to buy. Microsoft 500,000 to sell. That's the first couple of big tech names. Where's Apple? 450,000 to buy an Apple on WWD day. It's just nothing. That's a bit of a nothing burger off that bottom. Yeah, not a heck of a lot. What's the look? 377 million to buy. Not very big. Tesla's a buy at 350,000. Yeah, so kind of strong here. NVIDIA, really good bounce today for NVIDIA off of 388. I can't think of a reason why I would have liked the 388 price other than the fact that it showed you the bottom this morning. There was nothing technical or big about that level. It's just where it happened to find support in the morning, and then it makes a nice little bounce off that one in the afternoon. So I guess I'm going to write down 338 for tomorrow on NVIDIA based on that alone.
Like, this would never happen, but can you imagine, like, if, because we talked about Disney, you talked about Unity and some of the partnerships, like, what if Apple ever announced anything with Tesla? Like, what kind of a market would we even have for some of these stocks? I can't even imagine.
I'd chase that move.
Like, only because I saw someone said, like, what about Apple Car? Like, I can't even imagine what would happen. I mean,
this lends to a question, because this question got asked on the compound. I forget who asked it. But that's Josh Brown's podcast.
Yeah.
Tesla, first $5 trillion company, yay or nay? Not will it get there.
What is it at now, though?
Not will it get there. Will it be the first ever $5 trillion company?
I mean, I think Tesla could double from here. So yes, I would say yes.
Yeah, I would tend to think that, like, if there was only a couple of horses to bet on in that race, you're talking about eventually NVIDIA, Tesla would make some sense.
Not NVIDIA.
I think it could be. Well, I think NVIDIA could get there first. I don't know. Get there. I think so. Do you think Apple can continue and then be that name? Because really, it's already at $3 trillion. I like Tesla's notion. It's got to be. No, it's yeah, you have it up. Go to.
What,
Sean,
Tesla's only 600 billion, 700 billion? Is that what Tesla is only?
So you have to remember.
Oh yeah, it never hit $1 trillion.
No, it hasn't hit $1 trillion yet.
Right.
So you're not talking about
under.
Some number that's going to be hit in the short term. You're thinking way out there, right? Like, you are picking something way out there. The question, I think, when you're asking whether it's an NVIDIA or a Tesla, is whether those companies in the next decade are going to lap the current top, or you're going to still have companies like Apple at the high. So I think you're choosing between, like, legacy names, or not, legacy is the wrong one, the Magnificent Seven names or the FANG names that have been hanging out here and holding the markets up, or if you're going to go with something new.
Yeah.
I tend to think it's going to be something new, and if you are picking something new, Tesla could make some sense. I still think NVIDIA has a chance to be that, but you're certainly talking way out in the future at that point. Like, that's not something that's happening anytime soon.
Yeah, no, not when Apple's already at $3 trillion. I changed my mind. I didn't realize that Tesla.
Because it's first, not
so
ever.
Far.
It's first. It's first.
Yeah, no, I actually thought Tesla had already hit the trillion, so that's completely on me. Obviously, it would be a much bigger deal if and when that does happen. So I should have known better on that one. So no, I'll take that back. I say Apple will be the first one then, obviously, because Apple's already $3 trillion. So, well, it's 2.8 billion. So almost $3 trillion. After today, maybe a little bit less than that. Well, is Apple down? Yeah, it's 0.75 right now. What?
Okay, close to its high.
I'm going to get out of Disney.
I shouldn't say it's at the high because that's actually not actually true. Microsoft's at VWAP, but It did touch its high, its 52-week high today, and then pull back. But it's holding VWAP, so strength in Microsoft as we go to Brendan.
All right.
I actually don't even remember what they.
Was saying there either. So we'll wait. We'll get that mic all sorted out here.
I'm tightening my trail on Disney here because
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I
it's
wanted
not
to
really,
do.
Yeah, it's not really moving.
Yeah. So I just got out right now on Disney. We'll spin the money. It's not a big trade. It's I was gonna say 36 cents. We won 81s out 8s. So 19 and 8. So 26. Sorry. What's up, Brendan?
Take two. Elon Musk, in his trip to during his trip to China last week, learned that China will be the first to implement AI regulations. So take that for what it's worth.
No, we were just sort of talking about
Right,
the.
there's Google.
There's Google. Oh, I just trailed out of Disney as well, so I'm now at.
Where did it go?
It just.
Oh,
it
90.
just
Oh, it quadunked a bit.
Yeah, it was holding this lower. Just a quick second to my chart. This
Stupid
won't
Sharif.
take long, but lower high, lower high. Once it couldn't hold that, it's 355 as well. So I guess some of the imbalances probably paired off a little bit. Not that they were big to begin with. Whereas Apple, and
hell's
Microsoft
SoFi
are
doing?
gone. AT&T still there. Okay, well,
What
it's a
happened to you
23
right
cents.
there?
No, we is a 3.8 million sell imbalance.
WeWork.
It's a 23-cent stock, so
The best ever.
the best company in the entire. I'm not even finishing that sentence. But it was at the high of the day. WeWork's up 25% today, because I don't know. I have no idea why. But yeah, sell imbalance on WeWork there for some reason.
WeWork was one of my best. I had one of my cousin's girlfriends. She was working with WeWork and asked me. She's like, "Oh, I just got shares. What should I do with them?" Because when they IPO'd and gave them to her, I just said, "Dump the shit out of those shares." I don't know. Last time I saw her, she said she did sell some and is still holding on to some as well. So yeah, but you know what? You guys can all watch all those. I'm not going to sit here and talk about WeWork. I don't know enough about it, but that seemed to be when SoftBank started exiting it. That was really
It tells you
the end of that one. So there we go. SoFi, we are out of that, and we only have one trade left, and it's going to be the #1 net profitable name here today, and we're going to go barbecuing it up, and it is Advanced Micro Devices. Unfortunately, it didn't do anything all afternoon. I was waiting to get some short. I don't know why we didn't get that, because we really like 119, but it's because we're waiting for 119. So here it is, nice downside move, 118 and change. Let's just put a bid right there right now and get out. We don't like holding something into the close too much, so we'll see if we can get a bid here at 04 or 05. Oh, I'm just canceling my bid, 117.66. So I actually had a bid right here where we already got filled, and that didn't come through. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I'm at 04. So now we're going to try to get filled on AMD. There it is. So we are now flat and out. There it goes. We are at the highest spot. I don't know why we did that for AMD, failing today. No LFT in the highest spot we've been at all day right now. So, hey, good trading. I hope you guys enjoy the show. We're back tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for watching. We're not going anywhere yet. There's still 3 minutes to go. I think a lot of good banter on the show today. I want to thank everybody for all the super chats. I want to thank Parsa for coming through there. Hopefully it's not as easy maybe as you thought to do that show. But thanks, Parsa, for throwing down for us and giving us a little bit of a break on that one. So good job, Parsa. And more to come, man. Yanni Ramy behind me here wants to give it a shot. So we're gonna set him all up there. I don't know if he's gonna wear his glasses or not on the feed. That should be pretty funny. So I walked into
I would be pretty legendary if he wears the glasses while doing the
I
show.
walked into a meeting. Yeah, I've worn my sunglasses before, but mine are polarized,
No, but that's
so I
not-
can't even see the screens. If you have polarized
Yeah,
sunglasses,
but you didn't wear them the whole time. You had them on for
no.
like 2
Well, I
seconds.
can't see the screen.
Because you can't see shit. Like
Yeah, if you have unpolarized.
he's not trading with his sunglasses on, Yanni, right now. I'm turning around.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean that he won't.
you can't see it
The other thing is, I went into the meeting. I told you, I went into the meeting with these guys, and Greg was talking about coding, and and there was Yanni Ramy with the glasses on, baby. It's very bright that room. Oh, it's very bright.
No,
in
it's
that room.
bright in front of these lights. Trust me. You think
And
it's
that's
bright
why
in
he's
that
coming
room.
on the show. You know, lights shine bright on this kid.
There you go.
So we'll see here live on the air coming your way soon. All right. You need that 400K. Yeah, what's up with that? Where's that counter, baby? Right now, I have
put
on
it
my
back.
Twitter account,
Put it
I'm
back.
just waiting to change this. 385,000 subscribers. We're going to get that changed. Hey, Fabian
want the
Alfredo,
round
I need
number.
a new graphic for when we hit 400, because we're going to be doing that right now. I'm going to be tweeting that bad boy out. I'm just joking. You don't have to get that graphic anytime soon, but that would be kind of cool to get that. So 400,000, thank you for the support. We're like 2.5, almost 3 years into this thing. We started at the bottom, now we're here. So shout out to that. I'm going to work on Drake coming through for the show in the next couple months.
The whole team, you know what, here.
Yeah,
With,
yeah.
oh my goodness, only 1 minute to go. Oh, crap, Cat can't do the bell because we didn't get to 1,000 likes. So I'll throw something at the bell at this point. It will not be, I won't throw the hot sauce because that would be ridiculous. But yeah.
I mean, Kat should still be doing the bell. I mean, how many likes do we have?
She's had a busy day today. Been working pretty hard. You guys want to see Kat come up
it's
here.
It's 9:37. We're going to get to it.
We'll get there.
You have to, Kat, you have to
Yeah,
do
you
it.
have to ring it. We'll get there in a few seconds.
Yeah.
So Katrine doing a yeoman's work behind us, of course, and is set to ring the bell in 30 seconds. Has been a fun show. Let's see what happens here at that close.
I hate bribing everybody, but.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You know. There we go. We got 1,000.
Yeah, we got there. We got there. You guys wanted to see Katrine. I know what's up. Oh, I knocked. You keep elbowing that bear.
I'm only used to having one plush toy there.
It is
and
different having the two of them.
Now we have the two there. Best first half
Get
of
it
the year.
off of us. Get it to Katrine in 3,
shit.
2, and.
We did it. There it is. It is 4 o'clock. I was just seeing something there. I didn't actually realize we were only 5 seconds away there. But NASDAQ is on track for its best first half since 1991. So hit the sirens for that one. Like everybody that thought this market was dead to rights here, no. I remember our producer was calling like,
there were
so low.
There were some numbers.
There
that
were
were
some
thrown
really
out there.
bad numbers that were thrown around
They
there.
weren't the numbers to the downside of
I'm actually pretty
who
sure
win the bet.
I'm actually pretty sure I made a bet with him. I'm gonna have to. I don't know how. I'm not gonna remember it.
It was. I think it was. I remember the meeting. I don't think there was a formal bet, but there was like a. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was willing to bet whatever.
I don't think there was
it
a formal because I don't think he
the numbers were so low that he was.
No, he was throwing out some big
like
numbers.
10,000 or 12,000 on the NASDAQ again or something. I don't know what it was.
It was a bit.
But okay, Brendo. As we talk about the NASDAQ, we may or may not have squeaked out a profitable day. That's my tease to throw it over to Brendan for a recap of the day.
Ends up, guys, we have one that is green, one that isn't. So the 100, the big ones, ends the day positive, 0.07 there to the upside. About the same to the downside for the composite, the overall index in the red. The Dow was worst off today, about 0.6 in negative territory. Here in Toronto as well, TSX suffering a little bit with energy on a bit of a drag, especially late in the day. Russell, 123,000 banks got hit late in the day as well. So there's the S&P 0.2 in the red. So very mixed ahead of what is to come maybe next week with the Fed.
We get to Fed next week, but this week ain't over. It's been a good start. I mean, the market, it may not be a great start, flat day, but you know, quite frankly, the price action was a heck of a lot of fun, and we get some movers and shakers tomorrow morning that we can pay attention to. We also get, we'll see what happens with Prad's favorite stock, GitLab. They're the only name reporting after market, I think. I think they're literally the
Probably
only
going to Moon.
I think the only name reporting after market is GitLab.
GTLB.
GTLB.
There is another name, but nothing that we really recognized.
Okay.
11% short only on GitLab. So we'll see there.
Up 5%, 6% today.
Okay, yeah. So they're going to have to put out through a good report. So thanks for sticking with us right now. A Tesla executive just joined Rivian. Okay. Maybe we'll see. Let's see. RIVN. Is it doing anything?
I mean, it can't get worse. So.
Yeah, it's probably not doing anything. $14 still on Rivian and not. Oh, a little bit of a bump up on that news. They're up 10 cents. Okay, thank you so much to everybody for joining us today, man. We had a great day, and I think that we could continue this momentum throughout. Whenever you get a big announcement like that from Apple, you'll probably get some flow through with Meta, some more. Their AI news, obviously, everywhere. Google with, I mean, you just brought us that news with Google, and Google up to 127. Daniel Shea likes Google. I like Google, my #1 holding as well, so it's nice to see that. But Tesla to buy Rivian, no, that's not the news at all. I don't think Tesla's going to be in.
Wow, what we want.
Apple to buy Rivian? Wow, Brendan breaking that news?
No, but there were other companies that were rumored with Apple in the Apple Car, and Rivian was not one of them ever.
No. That was literally just.
I've heard people say Lucid every now and then.
It's interesting, guys. It's supply chain as well, which they actually pointed to in their last earnings call. Rivian did. So maybe positive here.
Yeah, they got a new. Says Tesla supply chain executive joins Rivian. Yeah, so okay, we'll see. Maybe we'll get Randy on tomorrow. How about that?
That'd be good.
Okay, so for everybody here, I want to give a big thanks to obviously our crew. Oh, shout out to Valentina as well. Thank you so much there, Alfredo.
This stuff is delicious,
for all
by
that.
the way.
Yep.
As if you're
product
going to
shot.
have any.
There we go. The product shot. Yeah.
We should send this to them.
That's what I'm saying. We should.
I'll drink this stuff. It's so
There
good.
we go. There we go. There we go.
It's
Neil
really
will
tasty.
literally drink it right there on air for $500.
Why do you say 500?
I don't know.
You could at least say like 1,500 or something.
I made that up. Okay, great stuff. Thank you so much, guys. As we go, let's wrap this up. As Prad's bus is taking off right from the very front there. He's got to catch that. So shout out to everybody. Let's go tomorrow. Thanks to Prad. Big help today, man. Thanks for all those images. And thanks to everybody again. Alfredo, thanks for the sauce. Thanks to Fabian and everybody here. Thanks, Brendo, Sharif, Max, Parsa as well. Big shout out to him. That was tough. Thanks to Kat. We talked about working hard today. And we're really happy. Thanks to everybody else. Let's get to that 400,000. We'll see that tomorrow. I'm very, very certain of it. So stay tuned and we'll do a celebration. 400,000 subscribers coming tomorrow. Thanks to everybody. Have a great night. And hopefully you're long or short GitLab and it works out for you.
Hopefully, well, it's actually coming back now.
Okay, good. All right. Thanks to everybody. Ciao.
Ciao. It was up and now it's kind of falling.
We're still there. Ciao again.
Oh.
Ciao again. Over and over again. See you guys.